Oh, listen to that music. Oh, isn't it good? Hello, my Canthan friends. Greetings. Kantha will return very soon. Hello, everybody. Don't know what that was. I already got my coffee and everything. It's early. I've got my coffee. I've been... today has been flat out. Listen, when you watch episode 68, and I know only like 66 is live right now, but when you watch 68, if any of you are watching them, you please know that it genuinely has taken me from like 9 a.m. flat out solid till 4:45 in the evening, with only about a quarter of an hour break to have a shower in the middle of it to make that video. I'm really proud of it in the end. It's not like a significant story episode. It's just got like a really nice mix of the chapter cards and the loading screen lore and flashbacks and montages in there, and community comment is in there, and vistas are in there, and ambient dialogue is in there. That episode basically has every single technique of the entire series all in one video. Every single one. There are clock wipes in there. There are lots of little jump cuts. There's an immersive moment where I bump the audio. There's as far as the commentary is concerned, a lot of story discussion, obviously, but there's mechanical discussion as well. It's just everything, and that's been my whole day. And I just thought, why sit about doing nothing? Let's just keep rolling on, and we'll get the stream done. I won't take my quarter of an hour break, boss. I'll go straight into factions. All right, you're looking good today. Thank you very much. You said that, and I've just realised we haven't changed the potato the entire time we've been in Cantha. Now, I don't really have a Canthan cam, but maybe I will go back to a fan cam since we haven't used those for a while. Should I go to the very first fan cam we ever got? It was by Mr. Orville. There you go. Mr. Orville's fan cam. Look at that bad boy. It's pretty good, eh? With a skill pin on it. With a skill pin. Mr. Orville from 2016. Thank you for reminding me. Here we go. Kevin got back to me. Hey, WP. I have got multiple full sets of skill pins on my hands, he says. So this is the story of yesterday. I had a tweet from a guy who was like, hey, if you're going to Cologne, if you're going to Gamescom, I can give you some skill pins if you like. And I said to him, sorry, I'm not going, but if you could maybe ship them. And then I never got a response. But he responded to me after the stream, so check it out. Kevin, here he is. He said, hey, Wood and Potatoes, I have multiple sets of full skill pins on my hands. I got some, and you might be like, wow, how has he got multiple full sets of skill pins? That's crazy. And he says, I got some as thanks for the cupcakes I arranged. So this is the guy that created the cupcake GoFundMe that I kept shoving in your faces and saying, hey, go spend your money, even though I haven't buy them cupcakes. This is the guy that did it. What legend. And this wasn't news I'd heard of, but in appreciation for that, it seems what ArenaNet did was they said, oh my god, this is really cool. And they shipped the skill pins out to the creator of the GoFundMe. Maybe they kept that hush-hush because, you know, it was a crowdfunded thing, and why should the guy that made it be the one that gets the credit? And people might find that as a point of aggression. Personally, I think it's fine. As the creator of the GoFundMe, he also had to do all the logistics of actually spending the money and giving it to the cupcake company and figuring out all of the stuff. So he put in a lot more work than the random nerds that just threw £2.50 over there. So I think that's fine. But I don't remember it being announced that he got them as gifts. But yeah, he got shipped skill pins for giving them cupcakes. There you go, guys. If you want a set of skill pins, just create a GoFundMe for ArenaNet to feed them. Feed the devs and get skill pins out. It's like a vending machine, people. Alright, so anyway, he says, I got multiple sets. I'm the guy that did the cupcakes. ArenaNet sent them. Are there any specific pins that you particularly like? If so, how can I get them to you? Thanks for all the coverage you did to the Cupcake Drive and the Guild Wars 1 stuff lately. It means a lot for the community. Smiley face. Then we went off on a big conversation, which I will not read out on this stream because I will consider that private between he and I until he says otherwise. It's just a reasonable thing to do. But he sent me a screenshot. I am indeed looking at a screenshot of a full set of skill pins in their original packaging. In the original boxes. Oh my god. And, yeah, I really want them. I really, really want them. And so basically, if this works, unboxing video will be a thing. And, yeah, it will be great fun. So, we'll see. RH Achi says, I've reorganized my entire apartment today. I'm so excited. Good luck with a few hours of stream to relax. Thanks, man. And good luck with your apartment. It always feels good when you rearrange a ton of stuff. I don't know. I like that. Dead Zealot, I woke up 10 minutes early and I'm still late. Yeah, late. Late, Dead Zealot. PK Monkey, hey. Guild Wars was the first MMO you played, I presume you're saying. The first MMO you played, and watching your content on it brought me to nostalgic tears. I love your content, and I hope both you and Guild Wars 2 have a long future. I hope we do too. The longer this LP goes on and people keep tuning out of it, we might not have a long future, I'm afraid. But you know, I'm happy at the moment. I am, and playing Cantha on these streams has been quite rewarding too. What looks so much better now? Your apartment. Engzax, hey, a month ago you did a 200 gold giveaway and said you made that gold in a week playing PvP. Is it possible to make good money in PvP while being a complete trash at PvP, like bottom of bronze tier? Are you asking me that to like rile a rant out or get a lot of discussion or whatever, Engzax? If that's a serious question, I would actually say yes, you can get reasonable money even if you're bad at PvP, because even if you're terrible, sometimes you'll load in and someone on the other team will DC and you'll win. Sometimes you'll be playing with really good players that will carry you. And the matchmaker, basically, you'll load in, but the population is low enough that the matchmaker will mean that you still average out to... I mean, the matchmaker... It's not about population. It's simply this. The matchmaker tries to get you to a 50-50 win rate. That is what... It's your friend. If you're bad at the game, the matchmaker is your friend, because it's trying to get you to a 50-50 win rate. It will drag you up. If you're good at the game, the matchmaker is your enemy, because it's always going to be pairing you with scrubs to try and even it out with that 50-50, and you have to carry a lot, and you end up very cynical and upset at the state of the game. But that's the matchmaker doing its job. So, yeah, you'll be fine, man. There is accelerated reward gain for being in high divisions, which you won't get. You'll hit 50-50 matchmaking at a much lower division than genuinely good players will. But the rewards for being in high divisions that accelerate your reward is very, very, very minimal. It's like 1 pip per division. And most people are only in plat anyway. So, honestly, it's good money. It is really good money. Especially if you're using a booster or two. Very good. And it's very liberating and free as well with what reward tracks you pick. And it doesn't ask... There's no tax on your time in PvP at all. Guild Wars... I don't like that phraseology at all anyway. But Guild Wars isn't a game that really taxes you very much. But in PvP, like... all the baseline, most obvious amulets and runes and stuff generally are auto-unlocked. They don't know whether they're coming or going with a progression system that's based on money in PvP. They had good ideas, forum people whined, and then they've left it to just sit there and rot. There's a lot that ArenaNet, Ben P and co could be doing with it, and they just don't. If you want more insight into that, watch the stream I did. Go to Wood and Potatoes 2. Anyone, this isn't just the Engzac, so to speak. If you want some insight into all the different ways that the PvP format infrastructure-wise is just off and broken and doesn't guide people or encourage long-term play, watch my Zero to Hero PvP edition videos I did only a couple of months ago. They're not anachronistic. They're perfectly contemporary. You can go check those out. They're on Wood Potatoes too. So yeah, there you go. That's my answer. You can get good rewards. And why that's kind of a weird thing to hear is some people hate that. They think you should only get rewards if you're good. Maybe that's fair. I got a sub before the stream, did I? I should turn that on. Thank you for reminding me. This way I don't miss it. I did also get confirmation from Jerry, who got his 3 years in a row, that he wasn't too mad I missed his sub. So what is this? Apparently I got raided. I still don't know what that is. Hypnotic1 raided me yesterday. Thank you. 7 people. That's very nice of you. Tesla K3 gave me Prime. Thank you very much. And Ewendell donated to me but wasn't even when I was live, I don't think. What the hell? Really? Dude. I need to give an enormous fanfare and applause to Uindo at some point, because he's still going with it. And I feel like he's just been completely unappreciated recently. There we go, Moogle Start. Thank you very much, Moogle Start, who just gave Prime. All right, my coffee's getting cold. There's no point delaying or dilly-dallying or anything like that. Here's the situation today. Hopefully this actually loads. Oh, I have a necromancer dancing in my face here. There, look at this. Rock God Necros. So, we are level 13. We are about to go to Canthan Mainland. But first, we're going to do our last 15 attribute point quest, which is a 6-player cap. If you guys want to play, everyone and anyone is welcome. If you have a Guild Wars 1 account, and you're right here at the start of factions, if you're a lower level or of equal level to me, you're guaranteed a slot. Just come to America English 1, Saitang Harbour, and we'll head out into Zendaijan, get our 15 attribute points, and then we are going to the city. And who knows how many missions and how deep we will be able to go today. It should be a lot of fun. Our armor should see us well for a while. We got that enormous, amazing handout, bailout from the community yesterday. 90 platinum. So we should be able to have all kinds of fun with 15k armor and stuff as we travel through. If you guys keep throwing the money at me, I'll fashion wars every single time. As long as you're happy with the, you feel like it's not a waste. I'll do some salvaging and things as well. I'll kick off the intro just so that I can tweet and Discord and stuff. But I'll be back in just a moment, guys. I promise it won't take me very long. See you soon. Let's do it. Log in. All right, I'm back. Hello, hello, hello. My coffee has got one hell of a kick to it. It's ridiculous. Oh, okay. Oh, Cottage says, well, Praetor's Canton and the Bane did have quite a bit of unrecorded dialogue, some of which was rare, like the one about the clever Asura Bane contestant. Now to add them to Wiki. Hey, I'm glad you found them. I was a little bit concerned that I'm sending you off on these things, and then the nightmare scenario is you don't find it at all, or that I've, like, messed up somehow, and the truth is that it was already recorded. The other thing I wonder a lot, Cottage, is... I don't know, you must have noticed, but most of the high-level Guild Wars 2 maps, the ambient chatter just plummets. It's just there's so little. In those later Ascalon maps, Sparkfly, Timberline, the ambient dialogue is just... oh. And I don't know whether that's the devs basically started running out a lot of time and money and they were crunched and they were like, let's not do it. Or it's just that the implementation was wonkily done for the devs later because they were strapped and crunched for time. So it's really like, oh, this guy only speaks once every half an hour and only during nighttime if a meta event isn't going in the area. And just those weird circumstances make it ultra, ultra rare kind of thing. I don't know whether it's stuff like that, a combination of the two. And lastly, that just the player base isn't around those places much or records it much. Or that they're more hostile, so it's harder to listen to NPCs and enemies undisturbed for ages. I don't know. I wonder whether going straight to the DAT files and doing the mining is the better way of going through it. But it is crazy. Another one, by the way, at the Praetor's Canton, I don't know if you heard it, but one of the char there is talking about the Heart Warband. She's like, ooh, have you heard of the Heart Warband? They're on their way through to Diessa Plateau. And I don't remember if that's on Wiki. Certainly Wiki doesn't talk about what the Heart Warband is or who they are and all that kind of stuff, so that's other information as well. Anyway, that's a bit of a tangent, I guess. We'll get in game in just 1 second, guys. Just wanted to say hello to everyone. Reg, it's good to see you. Hey, WP, I had an idea for the LP. Someone mentioned Rev in your comment section. I wondered if you could bring Casey back as a Revenant. It's not quite Guild Wars 2 lore, but real world lore works too, right? Loads of people have been typing that in the comments. I will say one thing. I've had a plan from the start, and I'm sticking with the plan. And I'll be open to altering and stuff after we're done. I I have made a couple of small alterations in my plans. Like the current Tyrix arc you're actually watching was not meant to happen yet. We were going to go further with Bract, but I realized some stuff like way down the line that this just functions things a bit better. So I'm basically not open to changing that stuff around. It might be intentional. Maybe they have most of the ambient dialogue as part of events when you're not in the safe area. I mean, yeah, I'm going to probably have to start resorting on the LP to using dynamic event dialogue instead of ambient because I'm just so strapped for it. It's just so hard at the moment to find it. Cherry Tune says, my Guild Wars 1 adventure is going really well. I made a load of friends through Twitch, but oh my god, the Frostgate is evil. Hell yeah, dude, the Frostgate. I remember getting stuck there when I was trying to solo it. Not under any normal party scenarios, but hey. Their big initiative still going, is it? So they're there in Prophecies now. That's awesome. Alright, here we go. We're in game. Now, Umod, what do we want to run today? Well, as always, I'm going to get high-res skill icons. As always, I'm going to use clear skills. Then... should we use blackness UI? Well, this UI is a bit ugly. I don't know whether I want to use blackness UI. That's a bit gross. Let's not use blackness. Maybe later. Abominations darkness UI? Let's use Abominations darkness UI. Alright, okay. So what do we got here? We have Tortuga Janika, who I want to be the party leader for. Wait, guys. We got to wait for Tortuga to accept. There you go. Now I can accept your things. We've got Healing the Knight, who's level 9. I'm happy to have you, my friend. We got Kimru Sar at 13. That's lower than us. Or the same as us. Bacon and Potato is 1 level higher. Ranger has no skill is 2 levels higher. Ranger / rear. I'll see if anybody else wants to do that while we set up our gear here. So, I am going to buff channeling, I guess. We'll do the 15 attribute quest on this build. And then we'll probably vote for a new one about midway through the stream. That seems alright to me. I want to get used to this build a bit better. Okay, we're 5 out of 6. Oh, the 16 guy left. All right, Doomfire is the lowest level, so we'll grab him. Smitsky, he's 16. We will get you eventually. We will all be 20 soon enough. I feel so bad for the people that can't join. For the people that can't join, just party up yourselves. Come on, man. You can do it. Come before the storm. Work is boring right now, but you feel like you have to look busy. Do you have a lot of crunch and then just easy hours at where you work? Is that the thing? So yeah, anyway, the current story is the valley fell and Zunra's been pushed out. There's a new Kirin spirit that's evil and corrupted in there, and we're going to go kick its ass. It's just referred to as a dark spirit here. But yeah, and the mysteries, the main headline questions we should be asking is, why is the plague there? Why did the plague attack the monks at Jaya Bluffs? Why did the plagues attack at the township? Why is the plague attacked at Zendaijan? What is causing the plague to be where it is? And we are so that's the main question. Here's the Wood and Potatoes theory on strong video game direction. It's two components must ever be present in the player's mind. There must always be mystery in the background that you're thinking and working towards answering, and there must always be a priority. And your game and your story is always strongest when the mystery and the priority are intertwined but not the same thing. Yeah? So that's what's going on with Cantha right now. The mystery is what the hell's going on with this plague? Why are these deeper things going on? And we can get those little facts about it. The priority is, oh shit, there's a plague. Let's not let it hit the city. And our priority is to go to the city to try and head it off first. All right? And just those two things together, you've got a compelling baseline to work with and compel people to move through. Let's speak to Guard Lei Fao. I'm sorry, but I cannot let you pass. The Master Plague is the plague has overtaken the valley, and a Master Toga is quarantined. Isn't that a typo? No, it's not. I guess it's not. It just looks weird. But it's like for you, Healing the Night should speak with Brother Hanjui and Master Toga in the Haiju Lagoon for permission to gain entrance here. Healing the Night. Healing the Night. I don't think you're allowed to come in, so the entire party isn't allowed to come in, my friend. Let me see. If I kick you and now I speak to the guard, we're allowed in. Ah, Healing the Night. You can't come, man. I'm so sorry. Oh, is he watching the stream? Oh, what if he's not even watching the stream? He's just a random Guild Wars 1 player. It could be true. I genuinely think he can't get... Look at this. Look at this vulture. Ranger is no skill. Oh, I can get in now. Oh, rip. Boom. There you go. Alright, Guard Lei Fao. Beyond this gate is Zendaijan, a sacred valley tended to by the monks. He's in. Who live there. May I help you with something? We have business. You have done much for the monks of Zendaijan. When you are ready to travel, I will take you into the valley. Alright, your entire party is about to be moved. Here we go, guys. Volume's good, yeah? So Zunra comes out to see us because we're doing her quest. You thought the plague already hit Kaineng? It might conflict with itself a little bit, to be honest, in factions, but that's definitely the main. When you read the primary quest text, I'm pretty sure it'll be something like that. We're trying to quarantine it quick, and then by the time we get there on the boat, we realise, oh no, we're too late. And you hear about how they've created the quarantine zones and they're defending the palace and all that. Do we have any healers? Oh, good question. I mean, I've got Boon of Creation. We might wipe now without a monk. A level 9 monk, though that person was, they were a monk at least. Okay, so Lyssa's Muse. The glory of Lyssa is reflected in many realms. Do you dedicate this offering to one in particular? We can gain extra 10 energy. I'm well up for that. Every caster can do that. We could spam up some morale boosts. Hexes run out quicker. Assassin attributes get buffed. We don't care. Mesmer attributes get buffed. We don't care. Energy storage goes up when we don't care. So none of that matters. But, yeah, maybe for some of our other players. Yeah, she looks super creepy. It's that weird, creepy, like, abstract oddness that I like about Lyssa, though, a lot, you know? Like, looking at and regarding her muse and the way she works, she's like the Picasso of the gods, you know? She's like the Cubist god. She's really weird. And so I think that, the splinter weapon, this. And so I think it would be very disappointing to me, Frenzy Doom, almost, to see her manifested in-game as just a human, like a woman, like, oh, no, I'm Lyssa, hi. That would really frustrate me, I think. Zunra died instantly. So we don't have anyone healing Zunra. It's a bit worrying. I'll try and keep Shadow Summon stuff up. God, looking at our energy bumping up each time makes me feel really good. I don't know why. Let's keep more Splinter Weapons rolling. We should be able to doom that Ritualist for a big hit here if we can get it before Union. Yeah, 126, right before Union. These Rits will Flesh of my Flesh one another, which is a super cool... I was talking a little bit on the last stream about the meaning you get from Guild Wars 1 gameplay because their capabilities hook so deeply into the player capabilities. And we were talking about Master Togo using Rejuvenation and how that feels like there's a lot of meaning there and it's kind of cool. Here's another good example. The devs putting Flesh of my Flesh on enemy Ritualist mobs because it's just a fun skill to interact with on an enemy. Like, Resurrection in general is and enemy healers in general are frustrating things to deal with, and I think that's why you see so much of that aspect culled away in Guild Wars 2. But Flesh of my Flesh avoids it being too frustrating. You get the pointedness of, oh, they're resurrecting, but in resurrecting one another, your enemies are halving their health. Do you know what I mean? So it doesn't feel like a pure setback because it just feels like your damage is getting splashed around a little bit because they're continuously halving their health and stuff. It's good. It's just like Infuse as well. It's a great PvE thing to go up against. And little moments like that I just really enjoy about Guild Wars 1. I don't know. And I didn't appreciate until long after Guild Wars 2 came out. This camper playthrough is making me think of it for the first time in a long time. Let's put one on Bacon and Potato, one on Doom. So, Doom can cleave 3 targets with his scythe. I love how the same faces are appearing each stream as well, by the way, guys. It's really cool. I feel like we're a proper, like, D&D adventuring party on this right now. It's really crazy. So he can hit 3 targets, and Splinter Weapon can proc all 3 times at once, I think. So he hits 3 targets, each splashing out on 3 foes. So you can do 3 times 3 on just an enormous spike, straight up. Kind of beautiful. If I was a really good player and I wasn't trying to do commentary and stuff, I would probably focus on only splintering weaponing when there's actually AoE value for them to get. Might go back to the other weapon as well. That one was pretty fun. I'm having a lot of fun on Rit right now. Right now, literally right now as I speak to you, this is the most fun I've had on Rit each stream. I think it's because I'm finally smoothing into the Guild Wars 1 keybinds and stuff. Yeah, a lot of you guys have been. It's cool to see when you guys make it through the week as well, and you come back on the next batch of streams. Because I don't full-time stream or do anything really consistently on Twitch, so most of the time people are like, oh yeah, I really like WP streams, but then they kind of forget about me during the week because I'm not around during the week. So it's really cool when you guys, the people who stick it out. Just imagine a township under Lissa's illusion, which makes it look like a Picasso painting such as a flowering time or something, with ants coming holes in your hands, distorted figures, etc. I thought you were going to go the other way, and it's basically a slum and a gross, like, infected, impoverished area. But Lissa has convinced everyone that lives there they're in some kind of utopia, and it's all beautiful and precious to them. And that would be perhaps a sign of Lissa's benevolence and caring for humanity. But as always, there's another side to the coin when it comes to Lissa, and maybe the other side of the coin is she's doing it to stop these people bettering their lives. She's doing it to oppress them in some way. She's doing it because she doesn't want the humans encroaching on the scarab beetles that live nearby or something, and we just can't understand her morality. I thought you were going to say something like that. Anyway, we need Zunra alive to be able to clear this. Did we fail the quest instantly? Should he fall, you may revive him by ringing the bells. Okay, no, we can still do it, just like the mission. So we've got to find another bell, and then we've got to cleanse all the stuff. We really need Zunra alive on this, guys. So I guess we'll come deal with more afflicted over here if the team comes. Dare I engage on my own? Alpha X Neo, it's good to see you, dude. I haven't been commenting on your YouTube videos or watching your streams at all lately because I'm away from home. and I struggle to find Wi-Fi. I'm actually using airport Wi-Fi before the flight just right now, so I'm excited to catch up on anything. Dude, that's awesome. I'm pretty hyped to hear that you're at an airport watching right now. What's it like? Describe to me the environment around you. I always find airports so exciting. I can imagine if I had a job where I was traveling a crazy amount, I'd hate them and I'd be so bored by them. But to me, the holiday starts at the airport. I'm at that point because I never go abroad really, right? Ever. It's the entire time I've been doing this for a living. I don't leave anymore. I don't even go to the beach or anything. So it's cool when like you get there. It's like, oh look, a shopping centre. Oh, it's so exciting, everyone. These are the pathetic realities of my existence. Here, bacon and potato. Have more thingies. That would likely conflict with what we know from Melissa from write-ins, which may or may not be accurate, where she wanted people to find inner beauty and peace via underhanded means. Well, I think you'd be wrong to say that we can decisively sum up what Melissa is just from the minor scriptures we've had. The script, the most contemporary one, the one from Siren's Landing, I don't really think demonstrated that at all. It was a completely dispassionate deceit to get the soldiers of one half of a conflict killed, wasn't it? I don't think you can really interpret that one as, she came to them as a little kid and said, oh, you will eat like you will never eat again, and then they didn't because they all got slaughtered, And it's like, why would she do that? She didn't seem very benevolent there at all. And if this becomes big Path of Fire's story and they explain Balthazar and stuff, I really think we're not going to see... I think we will see her in an antagonistic position, let me put it that way. Dumac says, I'm watching from a beach. Oh, you guys are living the life. Honestly, if I could watch such an incredible streamer as Wood and Potatoes on a beach, if I had someone like that in my life, oh. You don't realise it, people, but most of the time we've been cavemen when we've been on planet Earth. Look at this. Feel how comfy your chair is, the warmth on your skin, your nice, smooth, clean clothes from the luxury of a washing machine you had. No one had to slave over cleaning those clothes. Nice hoovered floors, internet connection. Truly, you are blessed. I actually think watching from a beach, all joking aside, sounds really hard because the sun, presumably it's a nice day if you're at the beach. You'd need a good... What I really, 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 really want in my life is, number one, a microphone that is extremely portable and doesn't get blown up by the wind, okay? And I also want a high battery, efficient battery life... God, our spirit's getting blown up here. An efficient battery life on a... Let's kill this patrol over here. On a really bright screen that works in the sun. Then I would take my work with me. I would start leaving more and I would go and do stuff. That's always been something I'd love to do. But you just can't in the sun. Because any screen bright enough to, if you want to sit out in a nice pretty field or something, any screen bright enough to handle that is going to run out so quickly. You can't do a good job of work. Drinking your coffee out at Hyde Park or whatever. You can't do it. So that's what people need to invent. Get on and do that, guys. Okay, so Zunra's back. We do have to go through the whole valley, by the way, guys, cleansing everything. So I know that I'm walking in a bit of a weird way. Some of the party members back there seem to not want to do this, but we have to sweep through anyway, so don't you worry. They make you work for this 15 attribute points. When did they change the Guild Wars 1 UI? I modded it with a very cool tool called Umod. Pretty fascinating, isn't it? Do you think it would be cool if this worked with Guild Wars 2? Well, it could. We just need someone to pick up development of Umod. Just Google it. It's open source. It'd be cool to have Guild Wars 2 UI skins, wouldn't it? You've got the time, you've got the talent. You learn interested in learning. I don't know what it's in C hash or something. I don't know. You just need a battery pack as big as your laptop. Easy clap. Yeah, maybe. Though that stuff's expensive too. At a reasonable price, okay? Listen, I want everything under the sun at a reasonable price. Is that so much to ask? Wooden shill-tato. I will happily shill for Umod development. Absolutely. I take no shame in that. That is to the benefit of not just myself, the entire Guild Wars 2 community. It would be a radical thing. It would be amazing. I will go on, I will whine and bang on about it till my throat is raw with blood. Okay, probably not that much, but still. Okay, so lots of stuff dead now. Let's go back to Thai Lake. We're doing well as well, without a formal support, it seems. I'm not really watching very closely how things are going. Perhaps this Necromancer Ritualist is soul reaping for energy and then pumping that into Ritualist support. He could be doing that. A lot of people have a weird impression about Necro's strength in Guild Wars 1, and I've kind of perpetuated it a little bit here, so I just want to explain some stuff. Necro is extremely strong in Guild Wars 1, but the reason why it's so widespread used in hero setups is because the AI isn't very good at healing, at energy management. So soul reaping is a beautiful thing because it allows you to just kind of avoid a lot of the pitfalls that the AI would throw you in anyway, just because you can kill quickly, and the soul reaping fixes bad AI, basically. That's the truth of it. The AI is not very good at prioritizing high versus low energy skills in the right circumstances. So if you put everyone on Necro primaries, it can get through that. Necro does have a lot of its own overpowered stuff. You know, we can talk about the strengths of minions, but the reason why it's such a ubiquitous force in so many people's teams, why Necros are everywhere, it's not monk heroes people run, it's Necro heroes as healers. And the reason Necro/Rits, and it's because of that. It's because of the AI side of things. It's not actually the class itself. If we're in a full player party, he could be a monk and more effective, essentially, if he wanted to be, you know. All right, we got to run in, and then Zunra, just as it walks over, it will cleanse it, I'm pretty sure. Here you go. Blessing of the Kirin. There you go. All right, cleansing, cleansing, cleansing. Hope you guys can stay alive here. Apparently the Ranger/Rit has heals as well. Hey, I mean, right now, primary doesn't matter at all. Loads of them potentially could. Kim Rusar could have heals as well. We could even be in a bit of a hybrid comp, which Guild Wars 1 was never that great at. It's funny, because hybrid comps excite the hell out of me in Guild Wars 1. And yet, hybrid support middling DPS comps is all Guild Wars 2. It, like, bores the hell out of me in Guild Wars 2. Because, like, for the first few years, that's basically what you could interpret dungeons as. Since everyone was splashing around a bit of everything. And there wasn't, like, clearly delineated things. So it's really weird to me how I'm so excited about it under one circumstance and I'm not. It's probably just that grass is always greener thing, right? Throw that on there. And unfair of me, I openly accept unfair of me. I know that we're not using Rupture Soul. I might throw a different binding ritual on there if I can. Okay, so we just got access to another bell. If Zunra dies again at some point, we can bell it up again. Now we go through all these areas we cleared out. So yeah, what do you guys want to talk about? Let me see chat here. I'd be up for playing the foreign team when you get to Vizina, but I'm not quite sure how you sync that up. Well, the sync window is really huge there. Basically, you click enter mission and it gives you like a whole minute before it loads in. It forces everyone to wait that whole minute, and the matchmaker will do it from there. You just watch the stream and we'll just click enter mission. It should work perfectly fine. If you guys have a team, I would love to have 16 humans. That would be so cool. I'm really hoping by the time we get there, and I won't discriminate about party level, player level and stuff at that point. I mean, we hopefully will be close enough to level 20, it won't matter anymore. Okay, good. We got Zinra there. All the way over here now. Same, hybrid builds are so exciting to me in Guild Wars 1. It's weird that I don't feel that in Guild Wars 2. I'm glad I'm not the only one. They're vastly different games. Guild Wars 1 embraced the Trinity. Guild Wars 2 embraced middling comps. See, I actually argue that that's not what Guild Wars... Eventually, we all know what Guild Wars 2 became. We don't have to... I'm not arguing with the reality of what Guild Wars 2 is. But I think the devs were actually aiming for accented roles in combat. They did want real supportive characters, and they did want real defensive tanky characters, and they did want real aggressive glassy characters. I think they did want that stuff. The point was that you would dynamically shift through and there were no boundaries inflicted at the profession level. And I think that it was just, it was nebulously described to the community, and probably within their own design meeting rooms they really fucked up basically, and they weren't clear about, is this, are we talking about class design or are we talking about like moment to moment stuff? And I think in a weird way they kind of got the whole thing like confused a bit weird. So like when you see how they did Ellie, like what were they going with? Moment to moment chance to swap up from a raw support build to a raw DPS just because I swap between fire and air, fire and water for example, and then a tank because I go earth. Do you want every build to have all the capabilities all together? Well, they could have done that, but then their gear design conflicted with it that they laid on top, and I think that was the problem, but... So that's how things ended up going, but I think always they did want accented roles in their combat, they did. And not ones that they had to hard bake into encounter design, like we see they now do with raids and fixation and stuff. I think they wanted the combat itself to be like that, and they just dropped the ball. So yeah, I mean, obviously in the end the gameplay was very much about middling comps. And nowadays we have much more strict roles, both enforced by mechanics and stat-wise. You know, a druid is a druid is a druid in a lot of ways. People have whined every time they've, like, you know, nerfed the offensive pressure druids can offer, or, you know, tried to refine the selection that one specific build can do, but I've always agreed with it. Just gonna heal myself with some more binding rituals here. Just dragging Zunra through the whole section to make sure all the plague goes away. Before release, I look forward to being the tanky support thing that uses cool shields and stuff as a Guardian. Oh, I mean, I've said this 1,000 times. Guardian players have my heart. Guardian players, to me, have had the roughest time of it. In the transition between Guild Wars 1 and Guild Wars 2, those excited by Guardian gameplay. The burnout for Guardians versus all other professions, particularly when we're looking at the framing of launch and pre-hot and pre-raids and all that stuff, must be so high compared to all other classes. Just because you do not get what is you didn't get what was advertised in the way that you wanted it for such a long time. I mean, they were gods of excellent DPS, great supporters as well. You know, I was just on Nike's stream yesterday, and we were talking about how strong Wall of Reflection was. You can't deny the strength of Aegis and their blind spam. They had a lot of utility. They could do great things. GS5 to pull people in if you didn't have temporal curtains. They had stuff, but none of that was what people want. It wasn't the style of support that people were looking for. It wasn't the style of tanking and being the defender that people were looking for. It was too far off the centre of the road. And I feel really bad for Guardians, you know. I've said it before, but I reckon 9 times out of 10, if you see someone on our MMORPG or some ex-Guild Wars player saying, oh, the game had no Trinity or good role management, and they're like mad at it, 9 times out of 10 they were a Guardian main. 9 times out of 10. I reckon the burnout from them must have been so heavy. I mean, what a letdown. And it's not the specific implementation of Guardian as much as it is just everything about how Guild Wars 1 and Guild Wars 2 ended up being structured. Firebrand almost satisfied me, then fell flat because everyone wants optional healers, not that Firebrand POS. Optimal, I think you're trying to say, even though they aren't even bad. I like Firebrand, actually. But yeah, I still think it's too little. And absolutely, it takes a lot for me to say too little, too late, just to be fair, to be very clear. But really, I think it hits both of those categories very well. And it's about a marriage of mechanics and flavor as well that I think a lot of people start losing perspective for eventually. Guardians are failure not just because of individual little implementation aspects, and they can't be hand-waved. Its failures can't be hand-waved away because it has Wall of Reflection, because it has this or that. It's about how the flavor ties into what you're doing as well. Is this potato on a mount? Yeah, he is actually. I don't think POF mounts had been announced by the time we made this cam either, so it's not a POF reference. Okay, good. That's the last bit of miasma cleared from here now. There's a packet, unfortunately. I'm going to use, what's it called? Ready? We're going to come in, we're going to do pain, and we're going to blow pain up straight away. Beautiful. Now we've got blinds around us. I didn't have Boon of Creation. Doom, and we can kill it. And now I'm getting away because the Afflicted Soul explosions will hurt me a lot. Our Lyssa's Muse buffs are running out right now, which is going to punish our energy quite severely, so I need to be careful with Boon of Creation now. Alright, let's get on up. Is there any active PvP in Guild Wars 1? There is, but I warn you, I've never heard anything good about the people there. I don't know. Apparently it's very, very... You have to be on a random arena certified build, otherwise go to hell, I'm going to bully you on the internet kind of thing. Like, oh, it's, I don't know. you take my my commentary here with a serious grain of salt. This is nothing more. This is unsubstantiated rumor mongering that I'm doing here. But I've consistently heard that it's a bit of a cesspit. But apparently people still play RA. That's like the one plays. And a bit of GVG as well. A bit of GVG. Which is probably a bit more community oriented and, you know, better, I would suppose. That's just a supposition though. Is there any class that functions the same as a Guild Wars 1 assassin? When I played Guild Wars 2 on release, none of the classes really did it, including Thief. I think Thief hits it extremely well. I'm not sure what aspect of assassin you're missing. Chain skills are like a really rudimentary thing that are baked into like almost all melee auto attacks. And the idea, use one skill into the other, and maybe you vary it up a little bit. I don't know. You find that kind of like muscle memory experience in almost every class. The idea of porting around a lot. I mean, it's got to be Thief, man. Maybe you just didn't play the right Thief builds, but the amount of porting you can do in Guild Wars 2 is insane. If you're like Sword, Main Hand, Shadow Step, there's so much stuff you can do. And to a far more wild degree. Flavor-wise, I think Thief hits it very well as well. You can make assassin-looking characters. You can be the dual dagger wielder. It does everything the Assassin did and more. I think Assassin was very faithfully re-implemented in the sequel. I tried to remind him of every sub. Next time I simply won't sub. Oh, the Source. There you go. See, I noticed. Look, these are pretty chill streams. I can get to chat now. The Source. Thank you. Still have to use Twitch or other channels' emotes to express a laugh. Get that lol emote. I don't know what that is, and I'm not interested. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think the Guild Wars 2 will do you right if Assassin and Assassin style gameplay is what you're looking for. Thief is pretty close. Everything competitive will bring up soul, even PV. Absolutely, yeah. Sorry, I haven't triggered some really aggressive commentary about PvP here. PvP always seems to bring out the worst of the communities anyway. I read a fascinating article. It actually made me kind of angry in a lot of ways. But I read a really interesting article from a woman in 2014 who was working at Riot. She like moved her whole life to go work at Riot in Ireland. And they were just all like bro dudes that would just sound like complete morons, basically. All the devs were just complete like unprofessional, just dicks. Like the kind of people you just... But basically what you encounter in PvP communities in games and what you encounter playing League, like just such douchebags. Anyway, she did this big blog post about how it was this terrible thing that she tried to work there and then she had to leave because it was so unbearable. And I don't know, there was a big swing of support for her. But the main question on my mind was, is it really news if a person joins a job, realizes they don't fit into that workplace culture and leaves? You know, why do we have to have an outrage about that? That happens all the time, everywhere in the world. It's not some honor. Like, she had some line in there that was like, I can't believe I waited 4 years to talk about it. It's like, why? It doesn't matter. Literally, the circumstance of that story is so... Anyway, I don't need to talk about that. But, yeah, it was very amusing to just see just how immature and ridiculous these devs seemed. But I can imagine it, you know, and it's kind of a funny story as well, in that it's like, you know, you get this obnoxious, dumb, like 14-year-old behavior and language coming from adults. But in some weird way, the proof is in the pudding when it comes to the Riot stuff, because you create a company that's all about staying connected to gamers and keeping that gamer culture and having a culture amongst your devs that's similar to amongst your players, which means you all act like immature little dicks. But the proof's in the pudding. They have amazing balance, and they created one of the most competitive, widespread products gaming scene in the 2010s. So it's kind of a funny thing to see. Like, maybe there's some merit behind just letting... I mean, I won't even repeat the language. As far as I'm concerned, they're morons, and I wouldn't want to work in that place. But it wouldn't be news that I decided I can't work amongst morons. I would, you know... So anyway. I hope you guys... LoL does have good balance. You can't argue that League of Legends, as competitive as it has been for as long as it's been, and as wide as it is as well in terms of the number of different champions and skills and things, you can't tell me League of Legends have bad balance. Obviously, people always nitpick balance in games. But, I mean, fuck, if you think League doesn't have good balance for all of its accolades and merits, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, you're looking for something much more simplistic that you can point to with better balance. I mean, you can tell me rock paper scissors is, but we're dealing with a very different subject material at that point, you know. Those kinds of people, the reason. I mean, it's a fascinating article, guys. Truly fascinating. It's fascinating to speculate into the motivations of the author. It's fascinating to really wonder to what degree the internet should be outraged about stuff. It's fascinating to just hear that there's a ton of little boys working at Riot and successfully. It's amazing. Oh, I thought Bacon and Potato left the instance there, but he'd actually just died, and the UI made it look like he'd left. There you go, that was awesome. The final boss was really easy to kill as well. Zindra's down. Well done, guys. 15 attribute points. We can all resign or leave. I'm walking back to the entrance in case the resignations don't go through quick enough. 10 out of 10. We're going to the city. Why the heck can we not have a laughing potato emote? WP never laughs, or what is the message? What, you want an emote of someone like... Listen, I need some more subs. I don't want to get rid of my existing ones, so you're going to have to help me get there. Perfect balance is impossible? I think that rock, paper, scissors is perfectly balanced. You know what I'd love to see? I'd love to see the development of chess. I'm sure it wasn't just a couple of guys in a room and one evening and boom, there you go. It will have been a thing that developed and built over years and years and years as it transitioned through various boundaries and places on Earth. But to get to the form it's at now, because chess is one of those things where people understand there's a slight imbalance in that the person... I think black is slightly less favored to win, maybe, or black is slightly more favored to win. But even that's accounted for when you play like bullet chess, I think. They give that person a little bit more time compared to the other. Like, it's ironed and hammered out so well. It's amazing, you know. Chess to me is a sign of something truly well balanced and complicated enough for it to be of some remark, you know. At the same time, we have done it. We have retaken Zendaijan. Thank you for helping me to rid this sacred valley of evil and disease. Blessings be upon you, always. Almost level 14. Another 15 attributes, though. Let's go channeling again there, I guess. And then the communing. Across global statistics, white is 0.5% more likely to win. There you go. It was the first one I said. Black is slightly disfavored. A 0.5%. First of all... That's amazing that there's a 0.5% that's identifiable and like understood and recognized. And even more amazing, it can be resolved through other mechanics associated with the game. I mean, come on. It's amazing. You may be able to tell I've been watching chess videos on YouTube recently. One of the things I would love to just do if I had the time is just play, like, do chess streams where I get like 2 viewers. And I just learn chess, do 0 to hero chess, and just like... I know chess a bit, and I used to play it as a kid. I haven't hardly ever touched it as an adult. So I just do that and just sink hours and hours of free time into chess, and you just watch me become the Grandmaster. Alright, that's not going to happen, but yeah. On any level. League of Legends has a Gorillion champions and 20% of them are ever used. Dota 2 regular season 90% hero use in top tier competition. That's fine. I listen. Just because Dota 2 might have better balance, and I don't know whether you're right or wrong about that. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt and say yeah, sure, you're right. But even if we say that Dota 2 has better balance, that doesn't mean that League has bad balance. You know, that things can exist in grey spaces, Yundor. So, I don't know. I don't know whether your comment there is actually relevant as to whether League of Legends has good balance or good enough balance, or is a testament of significantly good enough, better balance than amongst its peers in terms of video gaming in general. Maybe not compared to Dota, which is, you know, in its same genre, but still. Would you use a computer sim or a real board? I don't know what I'd do. I've got no idea. I've never thought that deeply about it. The reason why I'm wandering around like this is I'm trying to figure out who we speak to for our primary quest to get off this stinking boat. This stinking island. Hold on. Togo already spoke to us down here. It's first mate Jiang. All right, here we go. It's good to see you, UC. Dota 2 is better than League, fight me. I don't think that's too controversial of a comment, is it? Anyway, you must be McPoopbutt. Master Togo has already left, along with a few of the headmasters and some of the monastery's other promising students. He hopes to find more explanation about the plague in Kaineng City. When you are ready to leave for the mainland, talk to me and I shall help transport you there. Once you arrive on the docks, seek out Headmaster Greco for further instructions. Alright guys, you ready? Goodbye, Xingji. Ah, it's beautiful. We will get to pretty areas again, eventually. But none that marries such a unique design as Xingji did. Gorgeous. I will set sail. I'd like to book passage to Kaineng City. I am sure. Hello everyone. I hope that their quests and stuff are all properly progressed and that I didn't just skip them forward, unfortunately. Here we have it. So, the docks. First thing I always love about these docks is coming back out, unless I'm at the wrong one. There's another dock later near Kaineng. Interesting to look out there with the new graphics, because presumably we can see a lot further out to the horizon now. Yeah, we can. It would have been cool if the devs had like some assets way out there that now we can only just see. You can, I don't know if you guys noticed, and that's not the skybox, I don't think, but there is actually a hint of some of the city over there. Look at this. Oh, yeah. This is heavily inspired by Kowloon, the walled city, a now deconstructed, like, tiny kilometer of space, which had, like, the highest population of humans ever kind of thing. It was just, like, some ridiculously dense block of cobbled together shacks and buildings to create a little community. It got bulldozed. I think it was in Hong Kong or something, wasn't it? I don't know. Headmaster Greco. The spirit of nature herself must be outraged at the corruption that runs through these lands. Greetings, McPoopbutt. I trust your trip was uneventful. Oh, it was. It was a loading screen. Master Togo would like... See, I criticised Guild Wars 2 for doing that in Living World, but Guild Wars 1 wasn't any better. Master Togo would like you to meet him in Y-Jump Bazaar, and he asked that you make haste. Okay. 8-man parties. We can get 2 more of you in now. I really hope to see 2 more of you as well. Aren't I a bit under-leveled for Kaineng? Yeah, but that'll make it fun. I blacked out for the entire trip, so yeah. Alright, we're only 5 out of 8 right now. I'm going to wait here at the marketplace and let you guys take your time to join. I will hesitate on level 20 players until we get... until we're all out. But there's one. Asian Tea's another. Looking pretty good. Now, the marketplace does give us a gear upgrade opportunity as well. Which I might take to... Oh, does it, though? Huh. There was a big community-run player event here recently as well that was kind of amazing. For a Guild Wars 1 player. It was organised through the Guild Wars 1 subreddit. And it was kind of fascinating. Here you go. So, level 20 Dervish is trying to join. We're looking for one more guy. I can't believe we've got level 7. Oh, no. Yeah, he's 17. One more? No. I will grab the Dervish if, in the end... We got no one else. It's cool to see that we're going to fill it up, though. Yeah, I guess there aren't any services here. We'll wait till we get to the center itself. Oh, no, there you go. Look. All right, Smitsky or this guy. We'll go Smitsky since I'm only level 13. Shit, man. I feel bad. Not everyone can get in. Look, guys. Party up together. Use that chat. Party up together. You can do it. All right, in we go. Oh, by the way, a little bit of lore, the marketplace. A favourite destination for locals and foreign visitors alike. This bustling marketplace is the place to find locally made trinkets, fresh produce and fish, and traditional Canthan delicacies, such as pickled vermin tongue. Pickled vermin tongue. You know, people were doing Guild Wars 2 cooking and stuff. Let's get some of that. Someone make me a pickled vermin tongue. I'll watch that video. I'll plug that video for you. Damn, this PC has no Guild Wars 1 on it. Oh, damn, that's a shame. That new GUI looks sexy. I'm glad you like it. I think it looks a bit tacky myself a little bit, but I don't know. I don't like change much, apparently. Minister Barasong. Commissioners make the most wonderful pets. Can you imagine if they properly voice acted all of this? You'd have, like, slightly different accents for mainlanders versus Xingji people. You know, like, there could be a rural accent, but, oh... 10 out of 10. I'm going to immediately blow this up because I really need blind on these knights, otherwise I'm a dead man. You can see we've been diseased. So what's happening here is probably one of the necromancers on my team is using disease on the enemies. And that was fine against the afflicted, but now we're fighting Jade Brotherhood, who are the same as us. So the disease is coming back to our team. This is friendly fire. And again, another cool facet of Guild Wars 1 you don't really get to see in Guild Wars 2. We have 2 pets. One's called the Commander. Nice. And it's a tiger. That's hype, man. And this one here as well. So you'll notice I'm not getting affected right now, despite standing near these people. Once you've had disease timeout, you like get a window of immunity. I'm not actually sure how that mechanic fully works, to be honest. I presume eventually I can recatch it. All right, more. But there's our next level. The spawning power up again. Oh, perfect stat distribution. We have 0 unused points right now. Can you imagine Guild Wars 2 with friendly fire? There's a lot of different things that just make me wonder how world versus world would have gone different and whether it would have been more meaningful and interesting to me. And friendly fire, can you imagine how Zerg combat would have worked? It would have completely radicalized, changed the entirety of how we view and think about it. Any world versus world and listening to me right now is probably tempted to say, oh, it'd be terrible, it'd be awful. But that's because they've sunk so many hours now that they've lost their imagination to conceive Zerg combat in any other way. They've fallen in love with the tight balls crunching into one another as they've come to experience, and they wouldn't want that to change because change sucks. But you know, that could have been so cool. The other one is just body blocking and stuff. You know, Zerg combat would have completely changed if you couldn't just walk through your allies. Target caps is another one, but there was server reasons target caps never became a thing in Guild Wars 2, so we can't really argue about that one. I mean, I guess it would have had server stress for friendly fire too. At the end of the day, it's increasing the target count. Just the entire concept of blasting fire fields and stuff, just like it would be crippled. So you'd have to buff like the amount of might you get for it to be worthwhile, and you'd have to be much more careful about how you do it. Range blast would be far more useful than frontline blast. I mean, can you imagine? I mean, we're really talking about almost a completely different game, just because of some slight different tweaks. It's something that could never happen now, though, because people have a sense of what Guild Wars 2 and is and has to be, and they won't look at it any differently now, I don't think. You love the atmosphere of mainland cities. I mean, can you imagine Guild Wars 1 design and Guild Wars 1 disease in Guild Wars 2? And how that would impact world versus world. You'd want your squads as a mix of like the right number of Asura and stuff, or you'd have all one race except your backline is like a different race and stuff. It would be really weird. You try and have each line be as mixed race as possible so that disease doesn't spread amongst similarly positioned players. There'd be this whole other meta game, this whole other layer to it. And it would be a nerf for the human female now. Yeah, but I mean, it's against Guild Wars 2 to discriminate based on race. They don't want character creation choices to ever be a problem. So a lot of the nuance goes out the window at the same time too. I think I've said that on almost every single faction stream so far. I'm not going to say that anymore. We get the point. Bacon and Potato is playing super aggressively, and I love it because I can put the splinter weapons on him. But I'm too late with that one. He's having to bail out. Doom this mage. So here you can see they're starting to use elite skills against us now. They're level 20 foes and they're using elite skills. So we'll see we can cap some soon. The Elementalist using Double Dragon. Such a Canthan skill. Not gonna lie, from a gameplay perspective, that sounds like absolute garbage. How do you have any estimation of how that sounds? I don't have any estimation of how that sounds. Because you got to understand, you just think it would be chaos, but people learn to work within the confines of their restrictions, you know? Like, you'd learn not to bundle in the chokes and to do certain things. I mean, there definitely have to be other tweaks on top. I'm not saying you could just wholesale fix. I'm not even saying it would be a fix. I'm just saying that it would be a very different experience, and things would have to, like blasting especially, obviously. Oh, we're going to blast stealth on each other and blow ourselves up. That's just ridiculous, you know? So some things are ridiculous and would need to be changed, but in general, you know, I don't think it's fair to say it would be garbage. I'm not saying it would be great either. I'm just saying it would be an interesting experiment. Presumably, internally, they did do those experiments, though, and they decided on what they decided on for reasons. Who are we to judge why without knowing the full story? So, hey, Togo. He's near all these peasants. The docks are so empty these days. People are afraid to come to Cantha. Remain alert at all times while you are here in Kaineng City, Mukpupat. For the scoundrels, thugs, and pickpockets have many places to hide here, and they will be more than happy to take advantage of you. Oh dear. Ah, good. You have come to join us. I fear we will need all the assistance we can get to stop this plague. First, however, you and I have another important task we must attend to. Yuzhou's mother has a shop here, and as a master of Xingzhe Monastery, it is my duty to inform her of what has happened to her son. You and Yuzhou trained closely together, did we? And you were there when he died. Perhaps if she knows that he died with honor, she will find some small consolation, however small. The last time I saw Gio was when I came to announce Yizhou's acceptance into the monastery. Be on your guard. The beasts here are stronger than the ones we have faced previously. Okay. Okay, Togo. Yeah, body blocking, I think they have officially said it's laggish. It's because of rubber banding. It's a thing in Guild Wars 1. When you're lagging and you try to path past someone and then they move into the path, the lag won't realize it. So on the server, your client won't realize it. So the server will register you as being body blocked and way back over there, but your client's allowed you to walk really far forwards. And now all of a sudden the whole game's breaking and it's weird and you have to do /stuck and you rubber band back and all that stuff. If you remove all sense of collision between NPCs and players and stuff, you can have that same lag, but people don't realize it's happening and rubber banding isn't a problem anymore, because you can have the collision stuff all client side and static baked into the maps because it won't move. That's also why they don't do dynamically moving like walls and airships and stuff too much, because rubber banding becomes issues, I think. But anyway, they basically said something like that, and it's regrettable, but I kind of get it. Maybe one day the technology will go somewhere further. Blame OCX territories for having high lag. That's why we don't have more interesting mechanics. The Camden people are crying out. I'm joking, obviously. The Camden people are crying out for help during this time of crisis, and the Celestial Ministry hears their pleas. So there's the Ministry, the corrupt, bent runners of the city that you can pay off to do whatever you want. But this guy seems alright. Will you help the homeless of Cantha? I would be honored to deliver some mirrors to them. Oh wait, hold on. Does he not want to do that right now? Oh, my inventory's full. Crap. Well, I'm going to get rid of this monastery credit because we're not going to spend any more time in the monastery. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start salvaging. So F9. Get rid of some Plagueborn armor. That buckler we should identify first. That staff I don't care about. The katana we can identify. Longbow. Plagueborn armor. Double-bladed axe. The spiked axe. That head wrap we'll keep. The Sunquid blade, we want to do that. Salvage the supplies. The Sensali crest guard. The bow staff. Another bow staff. Oh, I was going to sell that one. I wasn't going to salvage it. It had improved sale value. Well, whatever. Okay, they want to do the primary quest, obviously. I think I went the slight wrong way. Here we go. You guys have been very patient. Boarding is starting to alert. Until I board, have fun with the stream and catch you on the videos next stream. I hope you have a nice flight. Hope no random nerds that's feeling a bit crazy hijacks your plane and talks about how he plays video games and does a barrel roll. So if you get stuck behind another player while lagging, it'd make your character walk around them and you wouldn't rubber band as far. Or just have a way around it that they could implement. Maybe that's possible. Again, I kind of think they probably have tried that, but maybe not. So here, all the way up there behind this stuff are enemies. We can't see them, but as a caster, we can cast through the wall. So what you're actually looking at, this gameplay here, I don't like about Guild Wars 1 at all. It's not visual, it's weird, it's off. And this is why in all my LPs for the channel, I preferred to run a dervish or something that physically strikes, because you know then you're actually forced to walk up and move. This weird casting through walls and stuff, it never clicked with me. And it kind of still exists in Guild Wars 2, but because it's not specific targeted often, and it's ground targeted oriented and other things, it's not such a big thing. I would have started with Union here, guys, but unfortunately it was on cooldown. Here, let's try and go. I'm going to go for it. Ready? We're going right in. Union. And then the 5. Oh, perfect. That was actually perfect. We got about 6 procs of Union. And then we got the nuke afterwards. We're a really sturdy team for how low level we all are. I got blinded myself. Oh, so what would have happened there is I blinded one of them, and then they just sent it back to me through some mechanism. Possibly a ranger throwing dirt in my face, maybe. A lot of memories from playing Prophecies of rangers doing that. I keep hitting marksmen with lightning damage, and it makes me very sad. I don't really have any melee characters either. Everyone's dying here. This is pretty bad. Let's take this marksman out. Doom again. Freaking rangers. So defensive. Here, let me go for Necro. Keep our spirits rolling. There you go. And Shadow Song up there would stop him doing any damage too. Good job, guys. Good job with the rezzing. Going to be interesting to see if the suits decided a late game direction shift for X-Pac 3, forcing Season 4 rewrites. Wait. See if the suits decided a late game direction shift. Oh, you're just saying it near the end. Yeah, I always get worried when I hear about how on the fly the story changes and adapts and moves. I can tell that the writers and the designers are very proud of their melee ability, but it always freaks me out a little bit. I don't know. Hopefully it doesn't cause them any issues. What I'm wondering, what I thought you were talking about, is design-wise what the next X-Pac will try to cater to, whether it will lean Heart of Thorns heavy or whether it will leave Path of Fire heavy in terms of its repeatable content. The naive and easy thing to say is, ooh, just hit the middle ground, but I don't think that really gets us very far to just say. WP is anti-team, no res skills. Yeah, well, I'll get rid of Ruptured Soul and put Flesh of my Flesh on. That's what I wanted to do yesterday. Actually, we're going to change the build completely next build, so whatever. We might get rid of the spirits. We might go minions again. I don't know. We can't go too heavy on corpse exploit-reliant stuff, though, so we have to be careful. So here you'll see how labyrinthine the city is. The place we want to go is nearby, but it's like, how do you get there exactly? It's really complicated. Guardsman Par. With this large influx of refugees, we're running dangerously low on medical supplies. Many are sick and injured, and we do not have the resources to treat them all. Could you possibly find Officer Chitaro for me and ask whether the Ministry of Flame intends to help? Let's go back up here. So, we'll try and find our way through. I once upon a time knew the way through the city, like the back of my hand. Not anymore. Well, I know we're going the wrong way right now. Well, unless we can go down like this, maybe? That goes towards the Undercity a bit, and on the right is Napui Quarter, which is story much later, I think. Anyway. Talking about the next X-Pac, what would you hope is the main setting? I don't know yet. Either here, or as in Cantha, or no, here, my house. This degen is heavy right now. It's like really heavy. I can pulse 2 heals on myself, but then I'm kind of out. Doom? Nice, that was a good one. Yeah. Or I kind of want to see Char stuff. Really badly want to see Char stuff. I want to see cool Char. I really do. And Norn as well. We're just so Asura, Sylvari, and human heavy through Living World seasons and stuff. Those races I want more of, a lot more of. And especially their regions, their territories, their origins, their histories, all of that. But Cantha would excite me too. Probably the top of my list is Cantha, just because I can imagine them selling an expansion with a Tengu feature on top. You remember how many resources they basically... There's the penis! There it is! I promised it would happen by the end. Someone drew it. You remember all the resources that they sunk into like the Mount team, and they really went heavy and thought... I like the idea of them basically having a similar outlook for the next expansion as well, where they sit down and they say, all right, what's our big, where are we going to go big dick? What are we going to do heavily? What are we going to throw loads of art and design at and really, really do as a treat? And I think that if they said that, they could pick new playable race and Tengu and just filter all of that passion and love and 2-year-long dedication with a big team dedicated to it. Look at what they accomplished with mounts. The best mounts you will find not just in MMOs, but almost all of video games. As of this point, the mounts are so good. That's what ArenaNet accomplished by dedicating to it and making that the main feature. Do that for the Tengu paired with Cantha, a new playable race. The first time Guild Wars 2 gets a new playable race since launch. First new playable race. Do it. I would be thrilled. Got to stop going for marksmen, but they're always the ones that last alive, so what more do you want from me? Not enough energy either here. I don't know why I'm so energy sapped. casting wrong? They got their spike traps as well here, which is an elite. I swear, this isn't right, is it? Can we go up and around? Maybe we can. Maybe. Is this really the way to the local quarter? I thought we went to the capital first. You'd fear that the Tengu would outshine like all other races. That doesn't matter, but it doesn't matter if the Tengu outshine the other races. If they have more quality of life and effort and dedication gone into their character creator and more features and more interesting racial skills and a more interesting racial story, it doesn't matter if they outshine them, does it? Why does it matter? It's not like when they're adding the Revenant, it's like, oh, power creep discussions and invalidation of other classes. At the end of the day, we all have we're all accepting that this is Guild Wars 2, and by level 80 it won't matter except for cosmetics, right? I think we're all pretty much in that boat, and I wouldn't expect Arena to change that. So it doesn't matter. And if you're like, oh, well, if they do give us a really good Tengu, then they have to go back and give us really good Asura, and they have to give me more Sylvari content. I haven't had enough Sylvari anymore, and the Tengu is just so much better. It's just... You know, if you're going to be that guy on the forums, then fine. They can bow to you as well and give you an expansion around, you know, Sylvari, where the Sylvari appear and the character creator is updated a little bit more. You know, these things can be... what's the word I'm looking for? They can be delivered. There's no harm in it. Just go big dick on Tengu, do it. I played really badly here, and I would like to apologize. We've double pulled. So hopefully they just get distracted. Oh god, bacon and potatoes on his own. I'll splinter weapon him. There you go, dudes. I'm trying to give you peels. I don't have any CC though. He's down. I got bacon killed. He came with me while everyone else was fighting over here. I was hoping that these spirits would take the other aggro. That dude was a bit bad. Oh, don't get me started on the people asking for more Sylvari content. Look, I get it, the Sylvari are really cool. I really do. But let other people have their turn, yeah? Do you know what I mean? The Norn can be really cool as well. You don't see it yet because you're not a ridiculous Guild Wars nerd, but trust me, they were pretty cool in Guild Wars 1. And you've got to trust that the devs will find a way to do it in Guild Wars 2 as well. Let's go back to the Shiver Peaks. Now that WP's brought the concept, I mean, yeah, a Norn-based expansion would be really interesting as well, because they're nomads, guys. None of this whole rack bullshit. None of this, yay, let's just hang out at the Pact all the time. None of this, let's just not talk about what is in their nature. They are nomadic, right? So you can have a large... Oh, I thought I was in Guild Wars 2 there. I was going to do the Guild Wars 2 map. You know how Path of Fire just added these vast maps and huge territories to travel? You can have a Norn expansion that just gives you enormous regions of remote wilderness and tundra and just distant places, northern Shiver Peaks, far Shiver Peaks and beyond, that it's just like disparate, separate packets of Norn just living on their own and hunting and surviving in the wild. It's just so cool. You could see how ruthless and badass and what wonderful survivors they are through an expansion like that. There's a lot of great things they could do with the Norn. And that's before we even get into getting, you know, hard and fast deets about the spirits of the wild and all that stuff. And Jormag. Togo is level 20. He is. He keeps leveling higher than us. Oh, look, we have to focus the healers, and I'm not even doing that here. Doom! Oh, wait, I've got rituals still. So here, he already had a weapon on, and I just splinter weaponed him, which means basically I removed his old weapon, replaced it with a splinter one, which has now expired. So it's kind of anti-synergy there. I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't overwrite my other ritualist weapon utilization. It's not smart. So now it should... Yeah, I know he's saying not that way. I know that that's a dead end over there. Now we should be able to go north, and the question is... I want to go to... This is the Undercity. Oh, guys, the Undercity. A map on top of a map. I want to see Guild Wars 2 broach this idea as well at some point. We're going to pray to Balthazar? Oh, it's Grenth. We did get something from Grenth. Let's see. Now that I got money, let's see what Dark Aura is like on a rip. 3 health... life leech on each proc. It will only be on our autos, I'm sure. Great for the dervish here though, and the assassin, Dark Aura. And the... Oh, no, all of our ritualist attributes are buffed by 1. Nice! Ritualist of Grenth. Why didn't I see that last time? So, pressing K, look, we're blue everywhere now. Even more health, even more for our spirits, even more duration for our weapons. Straight up, stronger scaling on all of our skills. All of them. Not that I have much mixed attribute stuff going on here. Right, let's get in. The dervish is in there. You just got back. You just got some food. Nice, man. I hope you got something tasty. If I could choose to micromanage all of your lives as you watch my stream, I would have you all eat as you watch. I love that thought. I'd have you all drinking beer and eating and just enjoying yourselves. And I'd have you eat something that you find delicious, but you're not allowed to eat it at any other time. So over the months, you come to associate me with that food. And in like 10 years, someone when you don't care about me anymore, and we've long gone, right? In like 10 years, your wife or husband or friend or whatever, your son, your daughter, will come up to you and say, "Hey, do you want to try and eat this?" And they'll give it to you, and you'll bite into it, and you'll think of me. You know that scene at the end of Ratatouille where he bites into the ratatouille and it melts his cold, frozen heart, and he realizes how delicious it is, even if it's cooked by a rat. Anton Ego, great scene, by the way. Watch it. Yeah, I want you to have that. But when you have your flashback, it's not of you with your mummy when you were a little boy. It's you, a fat ass, sat in front of the computer watching Wood and Potatoes. Master's Burden. Master Togo. Kenakai. That's ancient Canthan right there. Your presence here with a student other than my son can mean only one thing. But I knew this. Even before you came, I knew that my son was dead. That's ritualistic spook stuff there. Canthan magic, guys. I have heard of the plague reaching the monastery, and I dreamt of my son's passing many times in the last few days. Your presence here only confirms my dreams. I'm glad that Yujo did not have to see what has become of us here, how badly the plague has affected us. I pray only that he died with honor. Now please, leave me to grieve. Just leave me alone. I have nothing to say to you. She's a pretty strong woman. Cool. Alright, sweet. Oh, did we not get an output? Is that entire adventure now? We just leave? Alright. Resign, I guess. Unless medical emergency is nearby. Which we could do at the same. I will... Okay, never mind. We won't do it. But yeah, you see that bridge up there? We were up there. Verticality. Don't let anyone say that verticality was exclusive to Guild Wars 2. Because look at that bad boy. Real explorable terrain up there. I kind of already do that. I've been eating the same kind of breakfast every day while watching the LP. That's kind of cool, man. I mean, I've had that as well. I genuinely do get that. Not necessarily with YouTubers and streamers and stuff, but there's certain food that I'll eat and I'll be like, oh, this makes me think of Balam Garden or something. It's stuff like that. I'll be suddenly just warped back and I'll be like, oh yeah, Jesus, I haven't eaten this for ages. This makes me think of Parathia or insert location or music or whatever. Yeah, the weird thing about the verticality is you get body blocked by... Yeah. Weird. It is true, the verticality thing, to be fair. All right, if you want a real discussion, you want to learn something. Thus prompted by chat there. If there were mobs up on this bridge right now, and I'm standing down here, if I'm an assassin and there was a mob on the bridge, I could swing my sword here, my daggers, in front of me, and I would hit the guy up there, genuinely. And if there was a warrior attacking, he could hit me down here. There is no distinction in the engine as far as combat is concerned, and pathing and movement, between being down here and up there. So the devs do this rarely, and when they do, they try to stop there being combat involved. But you can cleave stuff above you. And below you. And that's what they meant when they were making Guild Wars 2, and they said, yeah, we're having a proper Z-axis, and we're actually doing this stuff. Just another little thing that Guild Wars 2 birthed into the world. What kind of UI is this? The UI for today's stream is Abomination's Darkness UI. You can find it on the Guild Wars 1 wiki, listed under the others. I'm not using anything particularly exotic or niche. It's all stuff that is still got active links on the wiki that I acquired a couple of days... No, the day of the first stream. I think, or maybe it was the day before, I can't remember. But yeah, you see it here, you like it, you can do it too. I'm a bit scared of doing this quest because I went to resign before. So whether we all just fall over dead is in someone else's hands now. Let's blow up this necro. Get out of this firestorm and move away from the assassin. Or I could have ruptured soul. Shit. Bleed and disease and poison at the same time. Not good. No binding rituals to refresh. We are getting hurt. We do really have to try. I can splinter weapon the tiger as well, by the way. And the tiger will also proc it, just like anything else. So you can see, actually, it's even working there. He was hitting the necro and cleaving the marksman with my splinter weapon. This is on such a low cooldown. You could basically full time just be splinter weaponing if you really wanted. Get some binding rituals up and then just spam that skill. Yeah, bleed isn't that heavy hitter, but poison is 4 ticks of degen. It's a pretty potent condi, really. In the original game. I mean, it's a very potent condi in the sequel as well. I don't know why I act like... I much prefer the second game's handling of conditions as well, by the way that they stack and it's much more evident what's going on. Condition cleansing, I think, is pretty poor in both games. I'd rather percentage-based condition cleanse be the status quo instead of spiking on and off. But, yeah. Guild Wars 1 wiki is the best you've ever seen, and the other Guild Wars 1 wiki that was before the official. Yeah, I mean, one of my early things I sort of am happy to remember is I used to use the other wiki. I'm an old enough player. I'm not an old player in many ways because I missed a lot of the really early prophecy stuff. Truly meaningful experiences back then, anyway. But I am an early enough player that I used to use the unofficial wiki before the official one grew over it. The Guild Wars 2 one's excellent as well. Both wikis are really fantastic. It's not until you play other games and you just realise how shit other ones are that you realise, wow, this community is pretty good with that. Here you go. I'm sorry, but we do not currently have any surplus medical supplies on hand. If the refugees need help, they should visit the ministry and fill out a request form 3056B. Beautiful. Look at all these quests he's got. Do we want to do these and level up, people? Luxury goods. That's the mirror. Imperial assistance. I've told you that the Celestial Ministry cannot help you until you complete the proper forms. Look, if it will get you out of my hair, speak with the Imperial Guard Raintoth. If there's anyone who might be able to help provide supplies immediately, it is he. Now go away. Oh, there were 2 quests. We had choice of quests there, did we? I went Imperial assistance. We're going to go all the way back now. Do we want to do that now? Ooh, God, that was a creepy sound effect, man. I think it was the fire imp. Yeah. Great. Look, people are just going to be following my lead on this. I'm going back to the marketplace. And let's keep doing the primary quest. A Master's Burden. Come on up, guys. Claim your reward from the Kaineng docks. Throw me some invites when you get back to the marketplace. This is an opportunity for anyone and everyone else to get in. I'm going to invite Tortuga first so that I become the party leader. There you go. And now I have control very quickly. Doom Faye. Kinryu Sa probably wants to join. Bacon and potato. Ranger is no skill. Smitsky. Boom. 8 out of 8. Easy peasy. Let's go. Do the quest now while all the mobs are dead. Yeah, I know. It was going to be a boring walk, though, so whatever. Hey, Greco. Of the Luxons. It is never easy to tell a mother that her child is dead. It was good of you to accompany Master Togo and to offer your condolences to Gia. Yijo would have wanted that. While you were helping Master Togo, some of the other professors arrived. They headed off towards the Waijin Bazaar. I want to talk a little bit more here as well about voice acting versus written dialogue. This is another example of how Guild Wars 1 can get away with providing a bit of a more mature, darker tone that Guild Wars 2 struggles with a lot. We just dealt with a story there where they took the time in Guild Wars 1 to have us go console the grieving mother of a character that died. Guild Wars 1 has its failings. Yijo we barely know or recognize, but you might not even realize when you kill him. It's kind of terrible in a lot of ways. But following this on the streams, there's some impact there. We can feel it. Guild Wars 2 can try all it likes to do that, but it has to work much harder to do the same thing. Because if you voice act Headmaster Greco, all of a sudden, it's so much harder to immerse into the emotion of the moment because of the way that the line's delivered. It can feel really stilted and strange. Guild Wars 2 could do the exact same thing as Guild Wars 1 did here, but it's going to come across childish and feeling weird or not quite hitting its mark. And I really believe that. Do you guys know what I mean? Like, but Guild Wars 1 gets away with it because it just kept it simple. I believe so much that voice acting ruins video games in a lot of ways. It's just such a ridiculous, massive wall of effort to go through that punishes you in so many ways. Anyway, Master Toga's gone to the palace to see if the Emperor has any useful information about the plague. I believe in games and RPGs that mix the both, is what I'm trying to say. About the plague, as I'm sure you know, Emperor and Master Toga are brothers. Master Toga's mother caught the eye of Emperor Kinta. Alright, sorry, I wasn't even registering that. Here's the big reveal. They're brothers, guys. As I'm sure you know, they hinted at that a long time ago. Master Toga's mother caught the eye of an emperor, Emperor Kinta, our current emperor's father. If we read more of An Empire Divided, you'd hear about Kinta a bit more. Not many are allowed into the emperor's palace, but he permits Master Toga entry because of their shared blood. They're brothers, guys. Togo is brother to the emperor himself. Why is the game telling us this? Why is this relevant? Well, keep an eye out. While we wait, I do have a task for you. I sent some of the other monastery students out into the Wyjin Bazaar to speak to some of the locals and gather information about the plague. I'd appreciate if you could find out more information, what they have learned and report your information to Master Togo. The information may prove invaluable in determining the source of the plague. I'll go and find out what I can. All right, let's do it. Catch you in the next video, Trent Bunce. Yeah, I'm not arguing. I knew that people would interpret it that way. Come on, people. Wise up. I'm not arguing that RPGs are not allowed voice acting. I'm saying that you shouldn't try and make the bulk of your experience voice acted. I think it's dangerous. Have it at specific accented moments and embrace the value of being able to type shit and just trust that your audience is smart enough and patient enough to be able to read. If they're not, it's probably not an audience you're going to capture anyway. I don't know. It just feels like such an exercise in futility, trying to hand it to people and say, oh, I like voice acting. We've got to have a mix of it. Because you lose a lot doing what Guild Wars 2 tried. I really think you lose a lot. And I'm not saying it's impossible to have a voice-acted RPG that's good. I think, obviously, The Witcher is an excellent franchise and renowned RPG, and it's got its reasons for that. I just think it's very hard to accomplish what The Witcher accomplishes, basically. Rufflecake says, and it's expensive for the sake of being expensive to have everything voiced. Also taking longer to create content. Localization is a big consideration too. Most people don't think of, but it's so much easier to localize and create a large body of lore and text and stuff in Guild Wars 1 than Guild Wars 2, just because to localize it, they've just got to throw it through a text machine. Also known as a translator. Paying peanuts by the hour, baby. Look at the difference between Morrowind and Oblivion. And then after that, Morrowind to Skyrim, which continued pushing in that direction. I mean, Elder Scrolls is such a beautiful... It's kind of a topic trodden into the dirt and has had its face smashed into the ground. Pretty much every nerd that likes to think they know what they're talking about. Like me, hello. And who wants... I want to talk about games. We've all got something to say about the development of Elder Scrolls, and it's been said 1,000 times before, so I'm kind of flinchy at the subject these days. But yeah, I mean, it is a great example of how... Just because Bethesda have been in the arena for so long, and you can see how they've kept up with the times and how their RPGs have changed over the years. And they've grown and developed and offered so much more, but also lost facets along the way. Immersive qualities and whatnot. Voice acting being just a small part of it. I need my own version of a nerd face. That thing that Valen just posted in chat. I need a potato version of that. Or not that, I just need a wood potatoes. That would be pretty cool. Because that's relevant for a lot, of what we talk about here. I've heard you complain about every aspect of Guild Wars 2 now, even about voice acting now. Guild Wars 2 does have a lot of written dialogue as well. That's very true. That's a good point. Well said, and that's a good ballast, actually. Guild Wars 2 obviously does still have a lot of voice acting. A lot of text. Sorry. Yeah. I need to be strong to protect my family. I'm nothing special, but I'll do what I can. With Master Toga's teachings, I will make it through. Headmaster Greco sent you? That is reassuring. I went to visit my family to make sure they were still alright. Apparently, my sister left for the Echovald Forest to study painting. This is so scary, do you not think? I found out from my mother that the Obsidian Flame Guild is helping the guards keep the city from falling apart because of this plague. I'm sure with Master Toga's training I can make it through. Fear cuts deeper than the blade. I've got to remember that. Come on, Kasai, you can handle yourself. We will meet her sister eventually, by the way. That's about the 3rd or 4th time she talks about the sister. The first time on this stream we've seen it, but, yeah. And in Winds of Change, they have some quests where they're together, I think, if I remember rightly. Hello, Mai, again. She started the game with us, if you remember. Both of these two did. I think I might join the Obsidian Flame. They are protecting Cantha in a time of need. This is why we studied under Master Togo, is it not? Talking with my old friends, I've discovered that this plague came out of nowhere. The Emperor is doing all he can, but apparently it is not enough. To all things must come an end, and this plague is no different. Okay, so we hear about the Obsidian Flame as well, one of the great heroes of this region. Being Vizu, may or may not have an ancestor associated with the Obsidian Flame. Just imagine if we get to visit some library one day like Hidden Arcana when we get dozens of books with a new interface. Yeah, I have a story. I've told this a few times. And I guess it's been long enough, I will again. I loved that library instance, I truly did. And I can't verify what I'm about to say, but I do believe it because it was such a weird and out of place thing to happen. But I distinctly recall on one of my videos when I was covering that stuff, many months, possibly even years after it came out, I got a random comment splashed up on one of those videos. Nice big wall of text, properly typed, seemed like a professional, reasonable, well-rounded human being. And someone came along and they said, hey, WP, this video is awesome. I just want to say I interned for a very brief period at ArenaNet, and I wrote every single one of these books. I did all of it. It was very, very cool. And I'm glad you've enjoyed the work so much because it was a ton of effort. And yeah, I'm not there anymore because I was just an intern for a while, blah, blah, blah. And so that was very nice. Obviously, it's unverifiable, blah, blah, blah. I tend to believe it's true. But what makes me sad is that one of my favorite aspects and some of the most quantity we had seemed to have been done by a diligent and enthusiastic intern who came in and then left very quickly, which has always crippled my... what's the word? What's going on with my brain today? My trust that it might happen again in the future. My confidence that it might happen again in the future. But yeah. Aeson of the Luxons. It is now time to show what you have learned. This is the true test of one's strength. These streets are strange and hard to navigate. To be honest, I feel like less of an outsider here than I did back on the Jade Sea. I overheard some traders talking of the Luxons, and it seems that our nomadic ways have prevented the plague from affecting my people. So here he says, when he's among his own people, he feels like an outsider. Is that because of his specific backstory that I now no longer can remember? Or is that because he's talking about their nomadic ways, that they're outsiders even among themselves? Anyway, Yoon. Basically, by the way, Luxons are Norn before Norn existed. Just by the way. And one of the cool things Guild Wars 2 will do is to draw a comparison between them. Being back at home made me realize the monastery wasn't all fun and games. There are people here that we can help using what Master Togo taught us. This isn't a game anymore. I tracked down some of the plague creatures, but I thought it best to keep my distance and observe them for a while, instead of running in like I might once have done. While I was training, I talked with a Kurzik from the Echovald Forest. He was saying that the war between the Kurziks and Luxons continues apace. Old hatreds can burn for generations, eh? Well, that's very far away and we don't have to worry about that just yet, my friend. And Lucas as well, all the old characters here. Who wouldn't require the services of a hero such as me? There was little else to do on Xingji Island, so I figured I'd come here. Looks like another opportunity for Lucas the Great. Do you like the new title? I think it's most befitting in such a great city. This adventure in Cantha will be just the thing to impress Danica. Ooh, Danica. Who is that, everybody? We've never heard that name before. Some high countess, I'm sure, among the Kurziks that we'll never meet. Too high and mighty for us. Anyway, Master Togo had just passed through here looking for Jinzo. He had sent the two of us here to look for possible causes of the plague, but once Jinzo saw the destruction in this place, he went a bit crazy and ran off into the sewers. I would have gone after him, of course, but I had more heroic things to do. You coward. Alright, let's go be a real hero, shall we? To the Undercity. And while we're at it, Imperial Assistance is nearby too, so we can do that at the same time. Nice! Everybody's becoming... Alright, I'm game. Let's do it, baby. Kos, tonic tipsiness. Too much tonics. You must wait before transforming again. Let's do it. Kos takes on Cantha. I should just rename the streams to Kos versus Cantha. Yeah, the guild initiative. Thinking about the guilds in Cantha as well. That's a cool thought. meeting up with Obsidian Flame and stuff. That would be a cool thing to pair together as well. I don't know. I have very little confidence they'll find the time to do all those little things. They just don't seem to have the manpower anymore. There's so many little things like that POF could have done about night. Listen, let me put it this way. If Path of Fire didn't find the time to talk about the fucking Realm of Torment anywhere deeper than a simple meta, I'm not sure we can expect such awesome, intricate little ties as that from a Canthan expansion. I don't know. There is a bit of cynicism rattling around in me, I must admit. And I know it talked a bit about the Margonites and the Jackals. But I can't honestly say there was as much as I'd hoped for. I think you mean Kos on Kos on Kos. Yeah, I guess if you wear the backpack Kos on Kos while making your Guild Wars 2 character look like Kos, you could be Kos on Kos on Kos. What's the closest you can get to looking like Kos in Guild Wars 2? Can you like mess your eye up at all? I mean, what's the situation? I wonder. We can obviously do an afro now, but a good enough one. The afro textures and stuff are really good as well. The Path of Fire ones, the Guild Wars 2 ones. If Heart of Thorns didn't find time to talk about the Night of Black. Okay, yeah, but Heart of Thorns I view very differently to Path of Fire. Heart of Thorns, yes, had a lot of holes. But Heart of Thorns was crunched in a couple of months, and it was laying a ton of infrastructure at the same time. The development, like, surrounding it, and the culture and the time they had on things was very, very, very different to Path of Fire. Path of Fire is a representation of the status quo of expansions to come, as far as I can see. You know, status quo, that's the dream. That was no concessions in living world pace, a beautiful big headlining feature, mounts, and all the stuff you come to expect from an expansion. So Path of Fire is the baseline you should really look at. So you should see where Path of Fire failed, we can meaningfully expect future expansions to fail too, probably. And in terms of content quantity, they might be able to shuffle metas and stuff and rethink things for the next expansion, definitely. But because there's still places to find their feet in those terms. But yeah, in terms of quantity, I don't think so. Right. So the Undercity, I'm scared I'm leading people the wrong way, but we'll see. Hopefully ArenaNet proves me wrong. Hell yeah, hopefully they prove me wrong. Definitely, definitely, definitely. I want to be wrong. Make me eat my hat. Blow me out of the water. Explain that the gem store mount skins have earned so much money. We hired 50 more people, and we doubled the length of the expansion. Give me that blog post. Create more stuff. Do it. I'll be jerking off over it. I'd rather be wrong. We also went to corner with no mention of the original Chance's Secrets. I want to go back there so bad. Well, that's Living World, and so again, that's another whole category to me. And I don't think the quality of a Canthan, the scope of a Canthan expansion, can be meaningfully drawn from the scope of the corner release, which in its own was quite aberrative amongst the other Living World episodes. Corner was a bad release and an empty release and a low release, right? So I wouldn't ever look at that as a baseline. In the end, Guild Wars is about family, is it? Is that the big theme? I would say so far Guild Wars 2 is about togetherness. Story theme-wise. That's like probably the biggest, like most in-your-face thing that they've managed to now. Obviously there's a ton of themes and stuff that pumps through it. And as we look at as we start breaking down each individual thing, it changes. But I think that's one of its biggest messages. In the end, the true Guild Wars were the friends we made along the way. Aren't you quoting something cheesy there? People said, what way, where are we going? We are going to the medical quest, the secondary quest, and the entrance of the Undercity should be near here as well. Trust me, I got it figured out, guys. We'll be fine. I really want to run Toolbox just to DPS me. And no! Don't let Kos die! Okay, they saved Kos, thank you. Those traps. Oof. Oh. Yeah, I'll help you out by summoning things. Dude. One more thing. Oh, yeah, we were going to change our build, weren't we, at this point? Alright, the next campaign mission, we will change our builds. Oh, they literally did say it's about family. What? Matthew or Jessica did mention the overarching Guild Wars 2 narrative is about family and accepting people for who they are among all the conflicts. I think that crosses over with what I just said about togetherness a bit. I have to say, family specifically is a very, very, very weird thing for them to say. Who am I to go against it, though? If they're the writers at this point, aren't they more correct than me? Death of the author and all that? I don't know. That's strange to me. I don't read family in Guild Wars 2. So many Ampha here. I'm trying to help the Dervish keep killing. We can finish this. Oh, see, the low ones are always the Ragers. If I didn't get Flesh of My Flesh, what I would pick up instead is Cruel Was Dao Shen. Love that. Voice is a bit low compared to the game sound. Is it really? Sorry, I'm probably getting a bit quieter as the stream goes along. Let's keep knocking this guy out. There are 3 healers. All right. Healing them. Yeah, and they've atrophied us down now. Oh, no. We're at a point. Oh, my God. I got wrecked. Unsuspecting strike. No, the Ampha destroyed us. Is this our first full-on wipe? Pretty much. Here's a feature Guild Wars 2 doesn't have. Spectating. Look at Koss here, guys. What? Koss, you nutter. Bail. Or maybe he just did that to Resosaur. That's pretty fair. Guild Wars 2 is actually an allegory about global warming. I think there are themes of climate change and discussions of caring and nurturing for the environment that get into it, definitely. Is it the most prominent of all aspects of the game? I don't think so, no. And I don't think decidedly global warming. There are a lot of ways in which humans corrupt what is around us environmentally. Yeah, I think we have 3 different packets there as well, so let's just try and pull 1 or 2. Oh. We have a problem. This guy here, this Necro Rit, he's summoning the same... If you're watching this stream, dude, listen, you can only have 1 of each kind of spirit. We did say this on a previous stream. So he's using Pain and Shadow Song and stuff, and he's just killing my Pain and Shadow Song by using them. And I'm killing his when I use mine. So we're like crippling one another by cancelling one another's things. We don't want to overlap spirits, basically. So maybe that's something to look at later. Shit. Oh, so bad. I should be focusing here. I should be playing better. This is fine. I can blind them. We're still getting kills. As long as the mobs don't res. Look, this marksman's almost dead. Yeah, I think we pulled 2 mobs. 2 packs. Each with 2 healers. Oh, you just got your reward for doing the boss blitz thing. 25 boosters and 45 Zephyrite boxes. Jesus. 25 celebration boosters. That's actually a lot of stuff. That's kind of cool, you know. Hey, we didn't fail our quest, did we? No, we didn't. Everybody's getting through. That's fine. Global warming is because of the Elder Dragons. Not the Guild Wars 2 ones, the real life ones. Yeah. Guild Wars 2 is talking about the threat of Elder Dragons in Guild Wars in IRL. Don't you guys know they've been awakening under the waters near Peru? So 30% DP. This isn't good. Right, now there's this pull down here. I'm a bit scared of the back aggro. So I'm gonna... it's far enough away. Fine, let's just go up. Let's go up. I'll grab this half moon. Error 07, healer not found. Did I get my boosters? I'm not in guild. I'm not playing the sequel right now, so I don't know. I presumably I got a male as well, unless they're splitting them out for some reason. Oh, cancel cast. Rip me. Here, what I'm gonna do is here. Perfect. Union and blow it up. They shouldn't be able to kill us now. And Splinter Weapon will do a lot better than another Spirit for me right now. Because I don't even care about summoning these now that I know that the other guy in my party is using them too. All I'm doing is killing his. Here we go. All right, medical supplies up here, guys. I hope everybody picked it up. How did you change the health and energy bar colors? I'm using a user interface skin via Umod. You can search it up on the wiki. This is Abomination's Darkness UI, if this is the one you really like. It changed the compass and stuff as well. It changes everything. See? We've got like a red tint below the background there. Prime Orders is melting the ice caps. In times of trouble, the Emperor does his best to help the people of Cantha. However, with the widespread plague, even the vast resources of the Empire are stretched thin. The Celestial Ministry is passing the buck once again. Is that what you're telling me? I hate to let them do it, but I cannot let the people suffer. Here, take these supplies. I wish I could do more. Okay, good. We got the supplies. Kaya says, of all the things to leave behind, in our hurry to evacuate, I forgot my son. No, my son's old, tattered bear. Now that the plague has taken my son from me, it's all that I have left of him. Oh, like, this is dark, man. This is sad. This is very human. Please, kind soul, if you happen to run across it, will you return it to me? It may not look like much, but to me, it's priceless. I'll keep my eyes open. Okay, let's go. Maybe she did forget her son, and that's why he dead now. That's why he DED. Next time they do a community-wide thing, they should have a UI. Yeah, I was close to making a video about it, but I mean, come on. That's not a great insight for me to offer the internet, is it? But it's true. Yeah, I'd like to see them do that. Another quest here as well. Let's just see. I'm doing that classic MMO thing where I just spam quests up. Mookpoop, please, you must help me. My son has fallen ill with a terrible malady, and the healers claim that the only known cure is a rare medicine known as Thorn Devourer Salve. The Celestial Ministry has a huge supply of medicines from all over the world, but due to some silly regulations, they won't allow me to purchase it. Will you help me get some? I love these, like, little jabs that they do at bureaucracy here in Cantha. All right. Down we go. They get to take on big company and big money here, guys. We get to talk about late-stage capitalism when we get to go back to Cantha. Now, if that's not a dream for your MMO content, I don't know what is. Just let ArenaNet send me a second set. You just received them twice. Oh, people are getting them doubled up, are they? That's kind of crazy. We'll go to continue the primary quest for now, though. Mayhem in the market. It's a great axe nearby. How long have I been streaming? Oh my god, it's almost 2 hours already. What is this? Lame. It's alright, we will at least get a cutscene, guys. We will get to the instance. Wow. So people got 50 boosters and 90 boxes. It's funny because everyone was whining so hardcore about the rewards, and now the devs are just like, no, we can do good rewards. There you go. Just give people enough of them and they'll like it. Wow. I mean, 50 boosters. Dude, celebration boosters are good for World versus World. That might get me back into WoW. I'm always on those birthday boosters if I can. Oh, we summoned the avatar of Balthazar this time. So, one of the interesting consequences of all of this, there, I'll just let my minions take the brunt. We'll monitor their health there. One of the cool consequences of playing with a ton of players, alright, is when you are solo with hero and henchman, I think these buffs don't apply to the henchies or the heroes. They only apply to you. But because we are 8 players, all of us can get this. So across the full team in the end, it actually is a reasonable thing to pay attention to, you know? 10% attack, speeds. I'll take a bit of armor pen. It says my attacks have armor penetration, and because this is a spell, I think it doesn't count as an attack. Spells and attacks are both skills, but are not the same thing. So, yeah, I don't think I actually get any value, but whatever. Except maybe autos, maybe. Thanks, SCX, for the sub there, by the way. Guild Wars 1 Teo Hype. Glad to see it. That was 20 minutes ago, and I'm sorry I missed it. FPS Monkey, a T3 sub. Dude, thank you. I hope you're still in chat. And Mr. Michelin with Prime. We've got a real variety there. Thank you, dude. The Source 667. I did read yours, didn't you? Didn't I? Yeah, I did. That was ages ago. All right. So yeah, the Undercity, we literally are under explorable. There's a different explorable map stacked on top of where we are right now. Not like right now, but yeah, those bridges and things, they're just associated with another map. I'd love to explore this place interior 3D. Exploring the Undercity interior 3D would probably be really cool. Yeah, do you see how some of our spirits are just straight up vanishing? Bloodsong isn't. He might not be casting Bloodsong. I think he's using Pain and Shadow Song though, because they're the communing ones. I think I'm safe with Bloodsong and Union. Union dies anyway, but at least... I mean, Union you could stack with multiple players in the right comp. Shit, the traps. Okay, here I'm just using this to heal. Thank you. The Undercity, we're going to find more Kappa soon as well here, guys, so... Take out the healer. Doom. He's using Heaven's Delight. So Heaven's Delight is kind of a faction's version of a skill you'd get anyway in the other regions, but it's like the faction's flavored version. Do I have any plans to play tomorrow? You want to heal my party with your monk? If I do stream tomorrow, it probably won't be this series. I don't want to like go further ahead when people aren't expecting me. Any bonus streams I would do in the week would be like just stuff that's captured my attention. Guild-oriented stuff, PvP stuff, chess, apparently. You know, stuff like that. Union is good with Shelter. Yeah, we haven't unlocked Shelter yet because it's not available from the vendors, but I will show people that combo when we get it. They're like made for each other, basically. And eventually chat will hopefully vote on like a pure supportive build for me. And we'll show those off when we have maybe a wider range. But I can imagine Union, Shelter, Spirit Light, Mend, Body and Soul, all these, they'd work very well. So there's a huge wave of Amphab behind us, led by the mob boss leader, Chan, the Dragon's Blood. Here we go, guys. So I'm not going to waste any time here. I'm just going to go straight to... Oh, no, but I want to get Doom stronger. Fuck, this is pretty bad. Alright, Doom is dead. Splinter weapon for Bacon and Potato. Hopefully he gets in there. I'll cast Doom before I die. Oh, he healed me. What a god. Another one. Side strafe in, just in case any autos are coming at me. Another Union. That will save people up a bit and heal me. Splinter weapon on the Ranger. That's possible too, by the way. Sorry, Splinter weapon does work on Ranger. So his arrows will splinter, which is awesome, really. If he uses that with Barrage, it's an amazing combo. Because Barrage is supposed to strip your modifiers, realistically, before it procs. But it only strips Preparations, one of the Ranger forms of modifier. So you can use weapon skills with Barrage. Splinter Barrage was one of the ways I used to play Ergos in the old days. We got to get the healers down. I think we have... Thing is, we're basically wiped here. We did a lot of damage to that wave, though. There's only a couple of mobs left, especially if that Necro goes down. It did. Good. So, yeah, we'll take the wipe, but it's fine. We can kill Chan next. He's alone. He can't hide with his cronies. People are crying that they killed one boss but didn't get any rewards. Are they really? I mean, listen, here's a fundamental fact of humanity. We tend to associate it with toddlers and, you know, babies. But full-grown men and women are still the same, okay? A lot of the time, it doesn't matter what effort people put in, or it doesn't matter what the reward is. If someone else has it, you have the right to complain that you don't have it. That's it. You know, like when a toddler's playing with a ball, and then they put the... You're playing with a ball, and now all of a sudden the toddler wants the ball. So it has to have it. Yeah, that's humans. That's people. And the internet allows people to express their inner toddlers with no shame. So it doesn't surprise me if that's actually what's happening right now. Doesn't surprise me at all. I feel like something very dangerous is happening to me over the past few years, in that I'm really getting really kind of almost worryingly cynical and judgy of just people. It's really bad. I should have more faith. I should be like nicer about people. But the internet makes it so hard. Other people have jobs where they don't have to look at the internet all day, every day. I've chosen this life. And the internet has chosen me. The revelation of the Elder Dragon's cycle was, or should have been, a humbling moment for the races up to that point that acted like they alone owned magic. But instead, the initial reaction was the same as it had always been, an attempt to control it through force. It is something that has kicked the can down the road a number of times before, but eventually you run out of road. That is Matthew, isn't it? Quoting on an AMA or something about what, in broad terms, Guild Wars is about. If I remember rightly, that's what that's from. I remember reading that quote very recently. So yeah, Mesmer, we took the 10 energy. This is probably one of the strongest ones in the game. Chaotic power. Almost every class will be interested in picking that up. Almost everyone. Only like adrenaline-oriented people don't want that. Oh, it was Andrew Gray. My apologies to Andrew Gray. My sincere apologies, because I did like that quote. Hold on, we got some back aggro. Let's go back. Yeah, GW2 is on its 6th anniversary coming up. That was from April. Your recent playthrough's been very positive. Expected it to be way more cynical after having watched the streams for a while. The LP? Well, because there's a lot of love about Guild Wars. And here's the thing. The thing with the LP is... I've talked about this on quite a few of the streams recently because people have asked. The other thing is, the LP is supposed to be capturing what it's like at launch. At this point, we're all cynical bastards that can nitpick and like know all the things that really upset us, or we understand why a good game didn't become a great game or a truly genre-defining game. And we can talk about those nitpicks because that's what we've got left. But the LP is about capturing the spirit and the essence and the element of launch in a lot of ways, where that wasn't on all of our minds. So I'm very happy to reinvest in that outlook, that mindset, remind myself of what that was and present it to my audience, you know. So, you know, I'm very happy to do that in the LP. And as we go a bit deeper, you know, be a bit more cynical and talk about some of the flaws, but that should never be the focus, I don't think. Besides, who wants to watch someone just whine all day? Honestly. Not me. And I tried to make videos I'd want to watch. Not streams. Streams, I'm happy to be lowest common denominator. Love you guys. I've really got to stop. You've really accomplished that point of view for the LP. I'm glad, Igjas. I'm glad. What is an LP? Let's play. Yes. Sorry, it's my presentation of the core Guild Wars story. Right, we are pretty death penalty'd up here, just BT dubs. People's levels are getting up. We've got some 17s, 18s now. A few 16s bobbing around. Gotta be careful of this sewer. There's lots of Kappa in the sewer in these areas. Maybe not right now because of the quest we're on. It's just all undead here instead. Or afflicted. It looks like the party has made its mind up. They want to cross the bridge and they want to fight. That's fine, we can do it. Oh, now they're following... Oh. Okay, alright, they're going my way now. Yeah, I know, I appreciate it. At least it was very refreshing to see the actual positive outlook on the personal story. I learned quite a lot that I didn't know. I mean, it's a thing that I'm very cautious of because I recognize the damage that the cynicism does to game communities and Guild Wars 2. You know, like, when you go to... If I'm a new potential player, there's a lot of amazing stuff to love and appreciate about Guild Wars. But nobody on Reddit talks about that stuff anymore because it's all old hat. And that does a lot of damage, you know. We're more interested in whining about the fact we never got our boosters for our one boss kill than we are in all the other stuff we now take for granted. So if I can, in 2018, remind at least the tiny little facets of the internet of which I'm a denizen, that, hey, these things still exist and they're still as potent and important as ever, I'm happy to do it, you know. I cannot escape the stench of death and decay. Make it end. The horror, the complete devastation. I knew it was bad, but I did not think it would be like this. Whole families wiped out. Innocent children left to wander the streets. If only I'd become a monk. Perhaps I could have done something to prevent this. Well, you became an assassin, mate. You survived at least. Master Togo. Remain a old. Yeah, we've already read that. Thank you, McPoopbutt. The information is helpful indeed. I'm also relieved to say that my trip to the palace proved worthwhile. I believe I have found the place where this sickness originated. It is a very dangerous place, even at the best of times, and the Emperor has now ordered it sealed in an attempt to stop the spread of the plague. I have spoken with the guard there, however, and he knows to expect you. I will stay here with Jinzo until he himself is once more. Until he is himself once more. But I will catch up with you shortly. Do not worry, Mukpupat. We will not be alone. Menlo, a talented former student of mine. This is where I'd be slowly zooming in. Will be joining us there. And I am certain he has brought more help. Hell yeah, we're about to see that Sasbag Sin and all the good stuff. It's time for Visitor Square, the local and foreign quarter. What we're going to do, actually, is we're going to fight our way through the Undercity to get there. And then we're going to... shit. The Kappa are blowing me up. I'm dying to Kappas. No! I don't want to die to Kappas. That's not fair or fun. There we go. They've saved me. No! He killed me with Mind Freeze! Oh. Yeah, we are going to adventure to the capital as well, which isn't even Golden Path. I didn't even remember. Not even Golden Path. We're going to go there to prepare ourselves, get some more armor and stuff as the adventure continues soon. Shit, look, they just blew us up with Rust hard. Does Rust become AoE when it hits someone using a signet or something? I can't remember. Our spirits don't really help there. Good job to everybody who managed to pressure down that. Oof, tricky. We're getting a bit wary here. This is good. This is a long session. The DP is rising. Ready, team? It's going to be tricky. It is. It's going to be very hard. We got to focus on the monk first. Do a good pull here. Let's get a meat shield running. Ray of Judgment from the monks as well. Yeah, see, and this is another great thing. You get so much flavor keying player skills into mob skills with stuff like that. Like, the fact that they use Ray of Judgment, the monks here, is such a defining quality. And aggressive and primitive and like, oh, it's such a cool thing about the afflicted monks to me. Primitive is a terrible word. Ray of Judgment doesn't really evoke that kind of feeling in me. But do you know what I mean? Like, and you just don't get that later. The assassins using shadow form, you know, you remember these things. It's not just a reskin on a thing that hits you like every variety of Risen is. Oh, a putrid cyst. These were rare for some reason. I remember collecting these for some reason. Not sure why. Salvaging a putrid cyst should make it explode with pus. Let's see what's happened when we do so. Where is it? Putrid cyst? Oh, we get bones out. Oh, a cyst so large and blobby, it has chunks of bone on the inside. Lovely. Hope you guys enjoyed that image there. That's right, guys. You did good. May Lissa's chaotic power be with us. We only have a while before it times out. Here's another cool aspect of Guild Wars 1 that I don't experience in Guild Wars 2. Contemplating and racing against buffs running out over, you know, these kind of long-term buffs. It's just much better for all those, like, mechanics of attrition, you know. These slowly atrophy away, DP builds, all of those things. Energy management is an attritive mechanic too. Oh, they're one of the Nicholas the Traveller items, are they now? That makes some sense. The chat box in the bottom left has people pinging their DP. It says, I have a morale boost. I have 55% death penalty. I have 57% death penalty. I'm dead! Was what someone else's ping was. I've got to focus. Right, I've got to get these splinter weapons up. There's no point me using these binding rituals in the way that I am. We're gonna go big dick with this. Okay, so Ranger, you're gonna keep it. Bacon, you're gonna keep it. And this Ranger, you're gonna keep it. I've actually got a ton of targets. We've got a lot of physical hitters that can do this. If anything, I'll try and keep Shadow Song high as well, because the blind spam will be very good. Back over here. It's probably better me casting this than Doom. This is guaranteed 90 damage. Well, if the AoE's proc, I don't know, Brutal Weapon just seems like it's the smarter thing. So here's an element of build craft you've really got to think about in GW1. And again, this is just an observation. It's not a criticism or something. But, like, Splinter Weapon, it's not just about the energy expenditure and the cast time and the actual effects of it. But the recharge would dictate like how it feels on your bar, because it's a 5-second cooldown. It's gonna take a lot of your active like interactions which means you kind of... Sometimes it just doesn't work on the build if you have too many of these, even if the energy and the effect and stuff is desirable. Like, the fact that we can spam this so heavy, or we can focus on spamming other elements of the build, that can be a sign that a build's stronger than another just because it's got that versatility baked into it. I keep Splinter Weaponing myself. Is our other Rit dead? No, he's still up and overlapping. I have no one here that is getting benefit anymore, so let's just keep our cooldowns up and start dooming. And focusing on my autos too. Here, we're going to blow up to blind the warrior. That gives us 9 seconds of invuln, basically. There's only 2 of us left alive here. That Ellie snuck up behind the team and was mind burning and exploding us. Still, we did pretty good. This was still okay. Look, do you see how, like, we lose, but we still feel like we learn stuff and we still get some momentum and move forward? I don't know. It's fun to lose almost in this game. I think we did fine because we've thinned their numbers so much here. As long as the walk back's not too punishing, and it's not, we should be alright. You think ultimately the 3 members all show up on Claw Island, do their part, sacrificing themselves, would make sense too, as each had their own skills to halt the assault? Well, it's a valid thing to start talking about as the story goes along. Look at Retribution as well. There are 6 potential choices. The end of Cantha, this is not a spoiler for the Cantha streams, guys, but at the end of Cantha in this game, you can choose what allies you pick to go through a key mission, and each ally gives you different, like, skips different sections of the mission and have different abilities and stuff, and you get like a really interesting choice. That happens in Guild Wars 2 also. It's just that Guild Wars 2 is really easy and you just zerg through it and you don't really realize this mechanic. But Retribution, the reclamation of Claw Island, if you pick Professor Gore, it's not just about the story of picking Professor Gore to help you. It changes the mechanics. You get his Vacuum Magic Sucker, versus if you go with Ben 10 Strikes, you get him and his mercenaries, versus if you pick Galena and the Gear Warband, essentially, the Ghost Ball technology, you get, like, mobile turrets you can place and a big cannon, and, like, that's there in Guild Wars 2. It's just not relevant because the game is a hollow... it's not a game. At that level, anyway. And so you got to think about that as well. It's not just when the mentors die, which mentor was really there for the lore purposes. Who was there during Retribution? Did Professor Gore reclaim Claw Island? Did Fibhar Yogson reclaim Claw Island? Did they all? And we only got to see sort of a weird narrow area of it, you know? So here we've got Stolen Speed. Okay, there's a Mesmer skill that I really like. Images of remorse might kill us. I can bump myself just a bit. Here, let's blow this up. Oh no, we blew that up. Oh, that's fine. We blinded some Bone Fiends. That's okay. Yeah, you know, you constantly have to ask that question in Guild Wars 2. Which story was the real one? And I'm struggling with that a lot in the LP to how I can get that conversation through. Because I want to be definitive about it. In my head canon, everyone was everywhere, you know. But, and sometimes the game embraces that properly. In some of the early stories, it acts like everything always happened. In some of them, it doesn't. Like Logan in the early human stuff, they're very careful in how they write it to make it quite clear that no matter what background you are, noble, off the streets, or a commoner, all of the bandit characters and everything is all going on. It's just you're only seeing a fraction. They're very careful about that with the human starting stuff. But with some of the other races, they don't even broach it, and it just doesn't work. Logistically, there's nothing to it. So, oh my god, we're getting one shot at this point. This is pretty bad. Okay, I can blind these 2 warriors by putting in to my spirit. This one here, the Blood Song. Okay, so hit one. Ah, the AoE from these mind burns. Christ. Come on, get the Rit. Yeah, the Rit will res them, so he's a crucial kill. He just healed himself. I think this is a wipe and an unfun wipe, because unless that goes down... Okay, we got it. Perfect. Here we've got a classic Guild Wars 1 situation. This monk is not actually a member of that party, that pull, but the monk noticed allies from another party, these ones, were getting low, so the monk ran along to heal them, and then once that happened, the monk not only perked them up, but it ended up aggroing the other group too. That happened in Guild Wars 1 a lot and was one of the more nuanced aspects of aggro management. You'd have to watch for the healers of secondary or even tertiary mobs in the vicinity because they could daisy chain, end up aggressing the entire group. So it looks like this guy survived, and he hopefully has some res skills. I seem to remember that when you did this, you got to see their spells on their bar, but I guess not. Here, they can happily fight this ranger, even though he's leashing back and forward, because the original game never added the, like, cheesy regen mechanic. So they can always kill like that. That's fine. That's not a problem. I prefer the game like that. It's so frustrating, the regen thing. I get why it's there, but yeah. All right, flesh of my flesh. I think most of us are going to be at 60% DP here. You might think, oh, this is really bad. But listen, guys, we're all very underleveled and in what is quite a tricky primary quest, if I remember rightly, because it is so long and grueling. You've got all the opportunity before you even get it. Death penalty accrued upstairs before we even get into the Undercity still has value down here. So you've got the entire walk to the Undercity to start getting atrophied down and then all the way through it. And I believe there's a deadly pull at the end here. Unless this is the final deadly pull. There's a really... I have some bad memories of coming here at the end. You love the ritualist model for the Afflicted? I love all of them, genuinely. I think that together as a set, they're awesome. Can you imagine, like, let me put it this way. If there was ever a physical board game like Warhammer, or the one I played when I was younger was the Lord of the Rings one more than anything else. If there was, like, sets of physical miniatures for Guild Wars so you could play, like, a strategy game, if I was going to pick a set, you know, oh, do you want to be the White Mantle? Do you want to be Ascalonians? Do you want to be... I would pick Afflicted. I'd love to, like, lead the Afflicted armies and have little models of the whole set. The set together is fucking awesome. They're just so varied. And my commanders of that set could be like the Shirokan. Can you imagine? Like you get a Shirokan general piece. You go into the shop in town and you got to spend like 50 quid to get your Shirokan general, but he's like a badass and crucial for your board game. Ugh. Oh, the things that could have existed if ArenaNet's philosophies were valued higher by regular gamers and implemented better by the designers. Can you imagine the kind of heights if just there was crazy money in this franchise? Hey, Turtle Moji, it's good to see you. I would geek out so hard for a physical board game for Guild Wars 2. Oh, it's just Guild Wars in general, sorry. We're very close now. This is probably the really horrible bit that I was talking about. Now, the patrol, that's a double pull over there. No, it's not, because they're all leashing together. This is pretty bad. We've got a monk and a Rit. So the warrior and assassin will charge in. I'm going to try and get them blind. Oh, we're sneaking past. All right. Go, 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 go. Shit, son. All right, we snuck past. We're okay then. Good. We're not cowards. We're not pulling no Vasbergs here. Wait, not Vasberg. Vasberg? That's not his name. I thought Vasberg, because Vasberg was at the stream the other day. Where is it? Hold on. What's his name? I can't remember. No, who's the super pale guy upstairs that's basically costs this version, this game's costs? Why can't I remember his name? Anyway. See if any of the buffs at the shrine remove death penalty. They do. You can spend gold to remove 2 with a with the morale boost, but we're at the end of the quest anyway. And I wouldn't want to do that anyway. Oh, his last name is Vasberg. Yeah, Lucas Vasberg. There you go. That's why. All right, there you go. By the order of the Emperor, none shall pass. Mayhem in the market. Here we go, guys. Cutscene time. Are you ready? Dialogue's already full, I guess. We left it up there. An Imperial Herald already came by with a letter from the Emperor granting Master Toga entry. I'm not about to go defy the will of the Emperor by telling you not to go, but I fear the only thing that awaits you past this point is death. Listen to... Oh, look at the Luda narrative kicking in there, guys. That was a struggle. He says that. I believe it. I hope I'm wrong and that you can stop this plague before it destroys more lives. Are you sure you want to continue? Hey, I take that as a real question because the gameplay. We were trained by Master Togo himself, of course. Let's go already. Let's go already! That was supposed to be Bender. I hope I did that justice.
What the?
May the gods have mercy on our souls. Are we too late?
Not yet. But we must not allow those plague beasts to spread their affliction any further. If they do, everyone in this province will be in danger.
Oh, flashback. Oh, what is this, guys? Oh.
I see great things in your future. Yours will be a story told by generations. Your swords will be sought by many.
Nonsense.
Yes, you will do things no other man would dare. Your name will live on for 1,000 years.
Shut your mouth, old fool.
Look for fortune to come your way.
It's Fortune. Maybe she was right. Shut your mouth, old fool. Look for Fortune to cut. I reckon I could do a better job as the old fortune teller than this did. Costume says that was retconned by Nightfall. I don't recall that being retconned. Just elaborated on in a kind of cheesy way and convenient way, but not a full-on retcon. Shut your mouth, old fool. Being the Shiro voice actor must have been so good. What was the first thing he said? He just like grunts something. No. Will I return to Nightfall to kill her? I don't know whether we'll go that far, because this account would have to go through the whole thing. I'd have to swap to the other one. Maybe we could. I don't know. But there you go. We are now a little bit into more dangerous territory. This is the Visitor Square, the local quarter. Well, I cannot say I think this is a wise choice, but for all sakes, I pray you succeed. Dwayna, keep you safe. Said Guardsman Pie. Visitor Square, the local quarter. Once home to the famous assassin Vizu, inhabitants of this neighborhood successfully petitioned the Celestial Ministry in the year 1396 to rename it in honor of the woman who had helped bring down Shiro, the betrayer. So there's a nice little thing they do there as well, where we see the first Shiro flashback when geographically we move to this place where we start hearing about the woman that killed him. Now, his downfall was orchestrated by a great many heroes, but Vizu was the one who finished that guy off. And it's no coincidence, I think, the devs pair that together, and I think it's a cool thing they do there. Pretty sweet. And our death penalty is clear. We made it, guys. That was really fun. I really enjoyed struggling through that with you all, and I'm going to really enjoy struggling through the next stuff as well. I did say that we would go back up to Kaineng Center next, and I was thinking of doing it on the stream, but that quest took way longer than I expected. So I guess I'll have to leave it there. That was good though, guys. Lots of fun, lots of cool chatter. Again, you can keep an eye on the stream. I might do a bonus one as the weekend goes along. I'll be back on Saturday though, same time, and the more of you the merrier. You can keep in touch with all the different things I'm doing, chat with me, all kinds of fun stuff over on Discord. There's a link in chat. You don't need an account, you just click it. Literally, there's a link, just click the link. and you're done. I want to thank again the people who donated gold in-game and anything in-game this weekend, to the subs as well, and anyone who's followed, basically just wants to check out this cool old game and waffle and talk about random stuff. It's really cool seeing the repeat people come back. I hope to see you guys next weekend. Honestly, it's been great. And if you've missed any of this, you want more, I have a channel on on YouTube called Wooden Potatoes 2. You can find that channel very easily by clicking either a link below the stream right now, or if you just go to my channel on YouTube, you can find it there. And all these Cantha streams are being posted there in a big long playlist forever. So you can go there, you can watch it through, you can continue eating your favorite hot dogs or whatever it is that you come to associate with these streams. And yeah. That's it. Thanks very much for the donations and everything, guys. You've all been awesome. These streams will get and would have been really boring if you weren't so active in chat and awesome. So I very, very, very much appreciate it. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you soon. Hopefully as many of you guys in this party as well. Let's keep going, adventurers. I want 16 next time. It's going to be good.